before you. Respect is due. No, nothing. Let us begin. A pilot stands before you. Respect is due. No, nothing. Let us begin. A pilot stands before you. Respect is due. No, nothing. Let us begin. A pilot stands before you. Respect is due. No, nothing. Let us begin. A pilot stands before you. Respect is due. No, nothing.
Hey.
Begin.
I know it's
A
a,
pilot stands
I didn't
before
think it was
you.
heavy. Thank you. Here.
Respect is due.
Huh? Cut you up. Oh, she's coming up. Hold on, because you can take it right back downstairs in a minute. Oh, actually, sit right
Pilot
sit
stands
over there.
before you.
Okay, thank you. I'll keep it up here. Because I'll take it downstairs later. Thank you. Hey, girl.
Let us begin. A pilot stands before
Let me
you.
get...
Respect is due.
over here. Is it on? What channel is it on?
Let us begin. A pilot
How
stands
y'all
before
doing?
you. Respect is due. No, nothing. Let us begin.
Hey, girl.
A pilot stands before you. Respect is due. No, nothing. Let us begin.
Okay. Let me get my headset on. I gotta turn my lights on. Hey, y'all. Star, where you going? Hey, what you doing? What I doing? Huh? Come here. Come here. How you doing, TJ?
Hoping that those grenades would finally finish off.
All right, I've been watching it, but I was doing stuff.
Underneath them, but unfortunately, they just managed to hold on just
Hey,
long
baby.
enough, and then Northampton kind of had the cleanup from there.
Waltzy's so close in finishing it off. It was Northampton with a winning game.
In a building. Hey, how you doing? Is that too loud?
TSM either alliance though woke up, and again, I kind of want to go back to you, Gino. I've been talking about Moist Esports. They didn't win there, but this is a team now. I think they've almost put themselves in position to be fourth, third place heading into the final 3 games. That is a strong performance from a team that had a lot of fan favorites back in championship. Formerly Team Burger, now representing Moist Esports very well.
If I'm not wrong, I think they got top 5 in every single game so far, and that just
Damn.
shows how good a zone team they are, right? Their comp is tailored from that. They switched over to the crypto partway through split 1, just to really solidify
That Prowler,
the play style
baby.
that they have, which is really that hard zone play style. They are, I mean, if you
Just
put
working on
all
some
40
assignments,
teams
okay.
on a spectrum, right, from you know, the most hardcore edge teams to the
Yeah, I've
most
been,
seasoned teams,
I got up by
Moist
10,
would probably be in, I'd say, the
30-ish,
top 5
maybe
teams
10.
who really like to just bank it straight for that end zone and then sit there for as long as they can to capitalize in a game exactly like this.
I mean, Tip, I'd love to see them going up against Ascend, another great zone team that we are waiting to see. They're playing in C&D now, but overall, I mean, looking at this, yes, we've seen some damage at the top, but this was a game
So
where
when they
some
gonna
teams
have
really
that
just
for
found
Discord? For
a
the,
way
I don't
to
know. I
get
guess it's an update gonna come out, Jay. I don't know.
I think that the teams that kind of warmed up this
Yeah.
year were doing exactly was how
I was like, oh, so that'll help y'all. Like when we have sub games and y'all can just, when we in Discord, it's, you know, finally y'all getting it. So it's a beta, it's rolling out. It's from what I read. So maybe when you get an update, that means you probably get it.
They won the second preseason quals, go into Pro League Split 1. And I mean, just look at that. Look what happens.
Oh, let me send my tweet out.
23 points there. And that's exactly what you need to do. And you talked about Moist Esports making it the longevity, right, Genome? But not getting the eliminations. They actually picked up quite a bit because they were able to hold that high ground.
Yeah, I'd say 6 for a second place team is like, it's okay, right? But you don't often see them pick up those big
Where you
bags of
going?
kills. I mean, you know, seeing an XZ come out on top and getting a 14 kill or a 16 kill, that is a lot rarer for a Moist Esports.
And that's the issue, too, I think you're bringing up as we head into some of the teams on the back half of this board, 11 to 20. Some of the problems are if you do play so zone
Where you
heavy,
going?
and when you win, you only win with 16 points instead of the 28, instead of the 32.
Where you trying to go?
Match point, it's still going to be difficult.
Where you trying to go? You
break
trying to get down?
threshold.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a group stage you're talking about, you know,
Trying to get
winning
down.
is probably enough to get you through anyway, if you're looking at that on average, right? But yeah, as you say, when it comes to match point, you need to get there
Girl, what is you
quickly,
doing?
and those kills become a lot more important when you're capitalizing and just trying to bank those 50 before you go for gold. So, yeah, the teams in the bottom 10 here, obviously, you know, not right on that pace right now.
You know, Tim, I want to talk a little bit about TSM. They started off really strong. I think they were almost ramping up. XZ then took over the Thunder. And it feels like since then, TSM have had a couple of difficult fights. One point they're leading out in Game 3. World's Edge.
She ain't finna sit there. Look, I know. I already know it.
We're talking about them being number
Star.
one in the world, but now they've got a
Star.
here in this last 2 games.
Well, let's just talk about Lava Siphon. That's their drop spot on
Yeah,
World's
look
Edge.
at her trying to get away. You got caught, didn't you? You
You
got caught. You got caught. Justice caught you.
Later, tried to split Lava Siphon with them, and they eventually just kind of held
I don't
strong.
know. He
That
was
is their
downstairs in
POI.
front of
But
my
you're
heater
right.
in my
They were
bathroom.
in the bottom half of match number 3, and I feel as if they
Go to
make
bed.
kind of some small mistakes, or they go the distance and pick up everything. It's like something simple
What are
that
you
they're like,
coughing on?
oh, that was a misstep, and then they go out on their first fight.
And I honestly think that Lava
She might
Siphon
need
is
some water.
the most overpowered POI, single POI
Go
on
some
either of
water.
the competitive maps that we have here
The sun
in
is stuck.
competitive play.
She's trying to get something out of her
The
throat.
change from going, you know,
Probably
from
eating some
World's
shit.
to World's Edge is going to be a massive boon for TSM because you know you walk out of there with like 3 purples, like gold attachments. You've got you get the hot zone half the
You get
time.
everything.
This place is just insane.
You walk out there just looted, ready to go. Let's take a look, though, at the final circle after the loot was done, and it was just about hitting your shots, which, as we do have to remind you, sometimes it's just deciding who wins the game. It's not always all the tactics and all the great play and where you land. Somebody who just hits those prowler shots might end up winning. It was a little bit more complicated here because Alliance was threatening the other side of the circle, but they were also low. And it forced Moist Esports to actually pay a lot of attention to Alliance when Northeption ended up being the big threat.
Yeah, so
Where
Moist were playing on the second floor.
is-
They did well because there are a lot of teams in this building to actually get that high ground.
Make sure y'all hit that like button.
The Alliance continually peeking their heads out there.
Let me
They
get
wanted to
on,
pay attention,
TikTok.
But unfortunately, they just couldn't finish off. We saw them get that one res towards the end, which just unfortunately made you know, Moist pay a little bit too much attention to that and just left it completely free for Northeption on the bottom floor.
I think Alliance, though, actually Moist end up taking a better trade there because they get the 2 kills of the knocks that they had for Alliance, and they get the extra 2 points from going from 7 points you would have gotten in third to 9 points that you'll get taking second place. So I think it was a good call versus taking on a full Northeption team, but ultimately it is something that, you know, you have to make decisions in those moments. I think Moist will be happy with their performance through 3. Heading into World's Edge, though, guys, I
there we
want
go.
to start talking about this because the map's changed significantly. Will we continue to see, well, let me ask this to you. What will we see here in this transition?
Oh my gosh, this is the first time we're going to see World's Edge on land, so literally anything can happen. But when I think about World's Edge, this has been in competition for so long. The POIs themselves are closer together. You don't have those big, long, open rotations where if you're running a charge rifle or a sentinel, you can kind of get some farming damage. You may be able to look and get a good chunk of information because you're going to see further, but you have smaller rotations. So I think that's going to be favored. So maybe the people that play zone are going to just hit it quick.
Certain teams like Pulverex as well. I'll get your thoughts in just a little bit, but Pulverex actually having a 60%, 57% to be accurate, win percentage in certain areas on World's Edge. So hopefully that improves, as well as some of the teams that desperately need the points. We're coming back and we're taking a trip not from London. We'll still be here, but to World's Edge in-game. So don't go anywhere.
Oh,
Right
shit.
now, more ALGS Split 1 playoffs.
Oh, snap.
Gaming is the official chair partner of the Apex Legends Global Series.
WD Black is the official storage partner of the Apex Legends Global Series.
Well, welcome back, everybody.
Shit.
To the ALGS
Not you playing both fields. Oh, Lord.
The accents are a little bit more local. You've got Onset and you've got Gaskin in the booth. London, you are sounding beautiful, by the way, and it's our turn now to take you through what is going to be the final 3 games of today. Dan, let's talk about what we've seen, though. Storm Point, done and dusted. It's time for us to move over to World's Edge.
It is, and that means it's far more comfortable for a lot of these teams. Actually, 14 of the 20 teams in this lobby statistically were far better throughout regular season when it comes to World's Edge. So we're going to start to see maybe more traditional rotations, more traditional setups, a lot of late-game fights that are going to come right down to the wire, and a few teams that might be able to pick up points in those big moments to try and progress in this table.
And I mean, starting off the day, we were on Storm Point, obviously, and we were a little bit worried it was going to be NA all day, with Exit going back-to-back, TSM having that big game one as well. But we saw a little bit of international flavor come back to the fore with Norception with the win, and of course, Moisture's in behind them in second place. Dan, great to see the universal kind of Apex community coming together there and seeing a little bit of those different regions popping up when they need to.
And I think we needed it in this group. We couldn't allow one team to just start running away with it. Otherwise, then teams are looking at, you know, maybe we can pick up points at second place. Maybe we have to go over to World's Edge and hope that something's going to happen to Exit. Bad news is that Exit actually very good at World's Edge as well. They had so many points in the regular season, so it's not like they're going to drop off suddenly getting into
And the
World's Edge.
crew
But
had
the
us
bad
running
news for
around
Exit
for
is that
hours
Mel
looking
should
for
now
people
be
that
getting
was trying
far
to
better,
86
and
and
maybe those
couldn't
bad
find
news
nobody.
is starting to fade away.
They had
That's
a
a big thing, right? We
who
always
was
talk
down
about
there.
the land jitters, you get those out of the way. Game number one, it seemed like TSM really didn't have any with those big fights.
So the hospital to heal
Everyone
him.
started to target this lobby a little bit. Like I mentioned, you saw Norception with that win.
I can't
in the last
just
game.
say,
He's
no,
gone
I'm
alongside
good,
it as well.
no.
So it's certainly gonna boost those
I'm warning all my friends. Oh, Lord. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Do go to World's Edge now, and like you say, a lot of these end zones, you have more places to
I'm finna
go.
fuck around and download the
The
Sims.
rotations a little bit more. We see
Let's
everyone's a little
move.
bit more comfortable on the stage. I think this is where we're going to see the best Apex Legends that we're going
Huh?
to see today.
Yeah, I'm very interested about drops.
What'd you
right?
say?
Where are people going to be landing? We've had changes, teams were dropped out, so now
Oh,
we
yeah,
need to
yeah,
replace
the
them.
Sims,
They could
yeah.
throw a little bit of a spanner in the works here. We believe we might see contests down in Thermal between Alliance and Flora. We know full well that Alliance have dominated Thermal for the last few years, right? Suddenly someone coming to try and take that drop spot off them, they are not going to be happy about it, so we will keep an eye on the southwest side of World's Edge and see whether that does go down.
We've seen Alliance holding off a few contests in the international scrims at the build-up to this event as well, but we'll have to keep an eye, of course, like you say, on Thermal Station to see if that fight does go down. But looking across the teams that we've got on our stage here, you can see 100 Thieves, they're going to be ready, but a little bit quiet from them so far today.
It has been a little bit quiet, and perhaps that could just be down to maybe poor performances on Storm Point throughout the season. It's not exactly comfortable for them. World's Edge should be better, but when you look across this whole lobby, you can say that for so many of them now, you can't really rely on one map. As we progress through this tournament, through playoffs, you've got to be good on both, especially when we start to talk about match point later on Sunday. You can't just be good at one, because let's say you get onto match point and then you go over to Storm Point, things are going to really be struggling for you. So you've got to make sure you're consistent across both, and it is certainly a good way to start the tournament if you can find said consistency during the groups.
And we have seen that consistency start to come to the fore for a lot of the teams who are at the top of those leaderboards across their respective pro leagues across the world, because we have just played more games on Storm Points with more competitive lobbies. And as you see those strategies develop, you see teams who want to...
I'm ready to see them on World's Edge.
Whatever it might be. And even to a point where teams giving up early zone, saying, wait, we can't get hit to this zone. If you're dropping down on the south, we know how hard it is to rotate to the north, and going, this is going to be a KP game for us. We can't expect to win it. We've got to play for points and see if we can get out of this situation.
And you speak about playing for points, and we can look at, how people achieved points. Was it via kills? Was it via placement? Two teams I want to point out in this lobby that I think are going to be a big factor on how the lobby actually plays out is TSM and J-Lings. And the reason being is they are two of our highest kill percentage teams in this lobby when it comes to World's Edge. And traditionally, we wouldn't necessarily think of TSM as a kill-heavy team, but we know now, as a kind of flex edge team, they like to take these fights now. Ever since kind of Raven came into the mix, and they've completely changed how things have gone, they are destroying these World's Edge lobbies when it comes to kills. And that's going to make things a little bit more difficult for people on their rotations, right? If you've suddenly got TSM and J-Lings running around just trying to kind of collapse on you, that rotation's not going to be comfortable.
That's very, very true. And of course, they've managed to completely and utterly own their POI as well that they drop at. Now TSM Lava Siphon, we saw a couple of maybe teams having a look at it. We saw Dark Zero have a little pop. They backed off of it in the international scrims. We saw a couple of other teams. IG had a little bit of pop. They're not going to be there anymore. So they can have complete dominance over one of the strongest POIs on the map, which is why we are seeing such a big point.
Avante!
There's a couple of other teams that I want to...
Hey!
SSG are one. SSG, we kind of never really...
Has me in such a shock about it's more bullshit every time I fly in the store. The story keep getting thick as fuck. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
3 players sat next to each other that played together for such a long time. I want to see him prove a point here.
Yeah, I mean, you can go into mumblings, you can go into...
I just...
At the end of the day, everyone is still competitive.
I think it was me playing GTA so much on Mixer.
Regardless of what might happen afterwards, as long as you can actually get something done.
Oh, no.
And now you can walk away as champions, and then, maybe those mumblings and rumors might suddenly...
I might fly into a world, I might make a world. You never know.
When it comes to their landing spot as well, I feel like they should have a pretty comfortable rotation into the center of the map. Mainly because when you look at teams that are around them, they're going to be rotating quite quickly as well. As will a lot of this lobby, it has to be said. And back to TSM and their Lava Siphon.
What you up to today, Vante?
Comfortable rotation when it's in the middle of the map as well, because they'll be next to Pulverex. And we know Pulverex are such a zone-based team. You even saw it in some of the games on Storm Point. Yeah. They wouldn't even get kills. They were just getting to that final 3. They want points.
Oh, shit. Triple Agent went to London?
They are there on the last day.
Okay.
God, it's good to see them with 3 players on stage, isn't it? I've got to say, they were the heart. I mean, there was some amazing teams at the ALGS Championships that we had in Raleigh earlier in the year, but earlier last year, I should say. We were in a new year, Dan Gaskin. But it was, I mean, there was one of the biggest stories coming out of it, wasn't it? It was the Pulverex heart. They were the heart of the tournament. They were the duo. They almost got to that finals lobby as well. Just came up short. But now they have that 3-player lineup. They're going to be here looking to cause some problems. And speaking of problems, this man's caused a
big monster.
Sykes on your screen. I mean, he has been beaming as we take a look at some of the highlights.
Oh, yeah, Exit.
Considering the hardships that Exit have had to face so far this tournament, it doesn't seem to have faced them whatsoever. In fact, some might say they look even a little bit better. They look even more comfortable. But
that Prowler, man, with that Digi.
Okay, it was quite favourable for them in terms of where the circle was going. It was a very central location. They dropped very central at Cascade Falls as well. But you look at the team types, you look at how they achieve some of these games. It is not an easy victory that was presented to them. They had to fight hard to make sure they won these games.
They did. They put up a huge amount of kills alongside it as well. And that man on your screen, Fun is
Fun! Let's go! That's my boy. I love me some Fun. Too easy. That's my boy right there.
Seems to be playing pretty well, calling some pretty good zones.
That's my boy. Anybody ask y'all? That's my dog.
The next couple of decks out there playing.
I mean, if they keep winning, keep in there. That's all I'll say. Don't change.
Let's go.
Working if 8 broke, don't fix it. I will say though, in terms of like saying, you know, it's so easy, we're getting back-to-backs, confidence, everything. We talk about it so much in Apex Legends, whether it's going into a fight, whether it's calling a rotation, whether it's making sure that you have the right zone locations. You always need to be confident in every decision you make. And if you are going into those fights thinking, yes, we can win every
That's
single
my
engagement, people are
dog.
gonna run away from you. Because you can see it in people's movement. If someone is literally beelining towards you, you can very honestly tell they are going to try and kill us. And sometimes you just got to try and get out of that because you know how difficult it is when you're on the back foot in some of these engagements.
Yeah, and I've got to give a shout as well. Hotzik behind them, obviously one of the smartest minds that we have in all of Apex Legends, making some great calls.
I love me some fun, like.
The way that you would want them to. I've also got to say,
Yeah,
I'm really
that's my
excited to
boy.
open up that Prowler, because that has been a sleeping giant. A little bit of a buff recently that we saw, and let me tell you, if you've got that in the hands of Sykes and he is in a 1v1 engagement, it's not going to take him too much time to put someone on their back.
It's also very quite entertaining to watch that as soon as a gun gets even the slightest of buff, every player seems to adapt and instantly is a god with it as well. It doesn't seem to matter what weapon is going to be the best in their hands. They will always find a way to pick it up and put it to good use. That being said, if you do find yourself maybe with not one of the best weapons, we are still seeing players actually getting kills because, you know, it's a pretty balanced style in terms of this game. Every gun can do some damage in the right situation at the right time.
And even that little shift, right, moving certain weapons into the crafter, you know, the car was at the front end of all of the SMGs when it came to whoever was picking it up, especially if you had the roller in your hand. You were picking up that car. Now that that's put in there alongside this scout, it means there's a little bit of a change up in some of the longer distance weapons that we're seeing. Some of the chip damage, the Evo shield, kind of boosting weapons, if you want to call it that. We're seeing the 30-30 come to the fore a little bit more. Of course, the charge rifle is still going to be big in those engagements. But it's interesting to see the Vault coming back into the fore as well, Dan, as that lead SMG for a lot of these players.
Yeah, it is, because otherwise...
And Mo gon' every single time.
One particular gun, you are going to get to a point when as soon as these changes happen, you don't really know where to go. So that's why these players are always making sure they are picking up every single weapon. They are at the very best with anything that may be in their hands. And it's incredible to see the consistency from players regardless of what they use.
Well, it looks like we've got a little bit of an issue on stage at the moment, a technical issue. We're going to try and get that sorted as quickly as we can. But in the meantime, we'll take a quick look at the wonderful faces here in the Copper Box in London. But we're going to take a break in the meantime. When we get back, we'll have that game ready for you. We'll see you in just a moment.
Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the Apex Legends Global Series.
Herman Miller Gaming is the official chair partner of the Apex
Oh, okay.
Welcome back, everyone, to the ALGS playoffs. Split one, of course, is done and dusted, and when it's time for us to wrap things up, Dan, hopefully we can get into the game as soon as we can. We've seen some store point. It's time for us to go to some World's Edge, and we've kind of had a little bit of time to discuss what we think we're going to see, but let's talk about leaderboards. Let's talk about who's performed. Let's talk about who's been a little bit quiet so far today, Dan. We've seen Exit obviously popping off a little bit, and I'm sure that everyone in London has enjoyed that as well. But who are the teams you've got your eye on? Who needs to step it up a little bit as we go into our final 3 games?
It's not looking great for Oxygen, for example. Oxygen have been somewhat underperforming, haven't really been able to get into those late game situations, and have not been able to replicate the success we saw at regular season on Stormpoint. And it doesn't get much better when we look at World's Edge, because Oxygen really underperformed in World's Edge throughout regular season. I mean, only 39% of their points were actually from World's Edge. So they have to find something different here on LAN. And it's all well and good for us to talk about the teams that are successful on World's Edge, the teams that are gonna be good on World's Edge. But actually, I want to look at the teams who need to be good on World's Edge, because these guys know how to play it, right? This is not a new map for them. Yes, they may have struggled. Yes, they have not found a victory on this map yet throughout regular season, as well as 4 other teams in this lobby have not found a victory on World's Edge. But it can all change at LAN, and that can very much change your momentum.
Yeah, if you get to LAN and you get that first win, then you're like, I don't care that I don't get any Pro League, to be honest, because these are the ones that matter. These are the kills that matter. And speaking of Oxygen, you can see them on your screen.
Oh, they got
right
a
now.
little frisbee.
Star
Star gonna have to learn how to play.
For his team, and I gotta say, I spoke to him earlier. I said,
She
Trim, man.
got to learn how to
He was like,
fetch
dude, I've been putting in the
a
work.
frisbee.
He's trying to look more like you, it would seem. Just trying to...
Never try and do that.
No, never tried, but
No,
he's
you
looking
just end up losing all your hair. It's
almost as big as you. But I will say that when you look at these teams who haven't found wins, I'll call them out, all right? I'll be honest.
All right.
X, Godfire, Oxygen, FCD, and Leave No Witness. None of these teams won a single map on World's Edge throughout regular season. That would suggest that they are all going to struggle when it comes to World's Edge. But if we suddenly see them get, a top 5, a top 3, you start to get that belief back in your system that, okay, maybe we can win these team fights. But we've seen throughout regular season, top 3s are great, but actually suddenly your composition is very important once we get to that late game.
Yeah, it certainly is indeed. And we are seeing, 100 Thieves, for example, we were talking in the build-up, discussing among ourselves, why they've had so many kind of top 5 placements, but not being able to convert those into wins throughout the season. And we were kind of looking at Newcastle as a pick in their composition. Does that offer offensively on a Legend what you need to be able to win those engagements in the end game? And it seems you saw them on Stormpoint, a little bit of a change from them. Maybe they were thinking the same kind of thing, and we'll have to see if that does develop and if that's going to bring a little bit more success to them in those end games. Well, thank you again for joining us. This is where we find ourselves. If you're just joining us, where have you been? We've only got 3 maps left today. Down in 3 games to get through. And you can
Welcome in, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button for your girl. Hit that like button.
Excuse me with the back-to-back Northception.
Come on, Exit.
Number 3.
And that will give Northception now so much belief going into 4 to 6 that they can make a difference in this lobby, and it's not going to be a cakewalk for Exit. And I think other teams
put
now
that
see
there.
a different winner will say, all right, okay, it's not just going to be an Exit walkthrough. We can match them. What did Northception do that was different to what we've been achieving? Now we've got a new map as well, so we can really change things up. And we're going to have to see whether anyone is just going to take this game by the scruff of the neck, because at the end of the day, you're not going to get that many games to prove yourself here, and then suddenly you could be dropping into the elimination.
That's a big thing as well, isn't it? You get to this stage of the LAN environment, you've been waiting for this time, you arrive, you fly in, all of this, and all of a sudden 3 games have already gone here in group stages, A versus B. Yes, there's a lot of games to go, of course, but you would be surprised as a player how quickly those games can disappear in front of you. All of a sudden you're like, oh, we've just arrived, and then you're like, wait, we've had 2 groups already done. Like, we've got 1 more opportunity. We could be in the elimination bracket. All these things start to catch up with you extremely quickly. So every single game that we see here at the Copper Box in London is massive for these teams. You cannot take your foot off the gas.
Yeah, 1 minute you're asking for ammo, the next minute you're asking for another drink from the air hostess, and you're back on the plane. It is that quickly getting in front of you, and we'll have to see whether any of these teams are just going to grab this game, and they are going to make the difference, because otherwise you just go home disappointed, and you have sleepless nights where you say, oh, I wish we had done X, Y, or Z. Never leave yourself in that situation. Put your best foot forward. Take risks at times. We do certainly see very different performances from teams on LAN compared to online. On Stormpoint, we were seeing teams share buildings for like the first time.
I was like, wait, people are coexisting?
Exactly. It just didn't happen online because people were maybe a little bit more confident in their fights because they don't have that extra pressure of the extra prize money, of the people watching them. But then suddenly everything changes at LAN.
Well, the great thing is as well, you got to remember, this is not just a LAN environment, this is $1 million.
It works.
Speaking of cool stuff.
Hey, boss, how you doing, baby?
Chairs we got on stage as well. Herman Miller Gaming embody chairs are being
Woo,
used.
I want one of them chairs right there, baby. I know the back gonna be feeling good, but the motherfuckers high as hell.
Upholstery, but I tried my best, Dan. Herman Miller Gaming is the official chair partner of the Apex Legends Global Series, and I gotta say, those
So
things,
it did not
They are
switch.
comfy. I sat down on one and my back, I think, was
Settings.
healed, and I realised that how bad my posture has been
Dashboard.
for the last 28 years or so when I started gaming. But very excited when this eventually gets under the way. These guys, I've been waiting a little bit of time now, and I'm sure they're going to be hoping it gets underway soon too.
Yeah, I've got to get one of these chairs, by the way, because I've got to that age now where when I stand up, I make that noise. You know that noise? And I didn't mean it's like an unnatural way. It's become natural, but it's not a noise that you make when you're 22 and below. Let's just say that. Anyway,
It's a noise that your parents made and you always made fun of them.
yes,
Log
exactly.
out.
And now
Okay,
I'm
maybe I
feeling
gotta
drums
log
as
in
well,
with
but now I'm
YouTube.
hearing in my ears,
Oh
everybody,
shit!
you
Hold
can
on.
Hopefully, hear us talking about some gameplay pretty soon. We're about a minute away from the
Okay,
game starting. It
whatever.
looks like the players are starting to get locked in, and we've got 3 more games today, everybody. It's been amazing that you've turned
That
up
went on my
Thursday
Mix
to
It Up
see these
bot?
6 games. So I need everybody in the copper box to give me everything for 3 more games of action. I can't wait to get into World's Edge, man. I love World's Edge, you know me.
Also, a lot of you were here before 5 o'clock, and I will question, why weren't you at work? It doesn't matter, though, because you're here. It's
Okay.
match number 4. It's World's Edge. I'm ready to get in. I'm sure the players are now locked and loaded, and I will remind you of the teams I want to look out for. Dreamfire, Gamewood, SSG, XSET, TSM, and J-Lings all performed fantastically on World's Edge throughout the regular season.
I'm getting them going, Dan. Well, they're getting me going. Here we go. The copper box is starting to pop off because they know the dropship is about to travel across World's Edge, and we get to see some guns firing and some bodies dropping.
And are we going to see that contest happening in Thermal Station? That's the big one for me, because if it does happen, then suddenly we're going to see all hell break loose. Are Alliance going to be challenged? Will Alliance then take Thermal really by the scruff of the neck?
Hey, we've got a couple of people flexing in the crowd there. I'm going to say that Hummel shirt is pretty tight, but anyway, let's look across at some of the other people that are here enjoying themselves, and shout out to you, London. The next 3 days are going to be even bigger and better. And I tell you what, 3 more games today, Dan. I gotta say, it's great to be back on land.
Submit.
I will say UK crowds never disappoint.
Okay, now let's
No matter
try
what
it.
the game is, they always turn up.
We're not biased.
But the
We're not
Apex
biased.
community always manages to turn up and do it right.
Alright.
Then everybody, the wait is over. To the left-hand side, I can see that drop ship is moving, and it's time for us to get into this game. Let's take a look at
Alright.
where we're going to be dropping early on. We're not going to see too much that we wouldn't expect, but as you say, eyes very much focused on Thermal Station.
Yeah, I want to see what happens.
Yeah, a lot of people go to Thermal in comp.
Are both heading that way, and that means there very much could be an early gun engagement. We didn't really see it in Storm Point, but it could very much happen here and now.
Save.
And whoever wins this one, it's going to set a precedent for the next 3 games.
Well, hopefully we can see that fight going down as quickly as possible, but this is where the players and the teams are dropping. This is where they're spreading out, and no surprise that we're going straight
already-
to the Thermal Station. Hackett, he's found himself a piece.
Hackett! I played with him recently.
Thing to walk into Alliance's territory and to challenge them. And I tell you what, the
Ooh,
to
ooh.
work with, and you can see they are just going to spread out the loot here to make sure they can fight against Flora here. But in terms of weapons, what have they been able to achieve on the other side would be my big question, because Alliance look good enough. I mean, an alternate
Okay, why is
a lot
it
of
not
damage at the early
working? Why
stages.
Nightbot not
Like they're trying to
working?
juggle a couple of armors outside as well, and this could be big. Looks like the plan might be to queue up all together, take this fight, get some damage down, and then if they have to fall, there's an armor swap
Exclamation
waiting there for
star.
them to try and stabilize for a few moments. But this is a big moment for both of these teams. Like we said, every game, massive here.
Arcstar on one side, and then the lift comes up the other side, and this is the engagement they want. The longer this fight goes on, the less likely these teams are to win this game, because you are just delaying your looting possibilities here.
Well, you saw that Manny took damage, so he had to think about taking
Anyone room for Candy? Oh, this above my league right here. This above my pay grade. This a different pay grade right here. You know what I'm saying? I do a little razzle dazzle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think ammo might be a bit scarce for Flora here, so they will have one opportunity, you'd imagine, to win this engagement.
Oh, I thought.
But considering where they are in thermal right
Listen.
now, if they try and run, they're instantly going to get shot. So this is going to be a huge decision for these IGLs of when they want to take this fight and how they want
I
to take
might
this fight.
be a little lit
We're
Sterling,
waiting
okay?
For the next Horizon Graviton lift here.
But yeah, XSET because I love fun. FPS, I love fun. So I'm kind of rooting for XSET. You know what I'm saying?
Coming in, of course, from the substitute, which is
But I like Hackett.
And you can see that Yuki's trying to cause a distraction here. He's going to hit the Jets and try and get up high. Now the fight comes in. Flora trying to hold.
Flora trying to hold out. Will slightly push them back, but I don't think they can get up again. And now Flora will get the opportunity to reset once more. Did they do enough damage? It doesn't look like they feel they have done. Because if they had, they would instantly be dropping here, Flora.
Question is here, what are the meds like on either side?
What they gonna do? Because I'm about to say, I know they don't have no heals.
Doing damage, knowing how many meds are going to be at the top of that central structure here, the drill structure.
It's no heals up there like that.
Chip away the damage. It means that Flora at some point on that high ground will be sitting ducks or forced to fight, and that looks like what Flora are trying to do here.
Yeah, they have dropped. They want to get involved. They have a lift.
Oh shit! Hockey.
And suddenly Flora have taken the advantage.
Now you see the pressure. Headshot going to come in with that wingman. Yuki and Mandy got it all to do. There's one. It's a 2v1 now in the favor of Alliance. Mandy on his own. Hardly any armor to work with. No swaps here. It's a 1v1 with barely any HP.
No heals.
Solo Mandy though gets some cells off. That could be massive. He has the advantage in terms of health right now.
Mozambique here. Also got the ultimate, but no, he bounces off the back of a player's head. Big moments here. Good news for both teams. No one in the vicinity to try and third party in this fight, so this is a completely isolated 1v1, but you have to say the advantage is surely with Manny, the sub. He's filling in here for Alliance, looking to go up, but now he's...
Flora win the great battle of Thermal Station and the entirety of the southwest of the map.
Damn!
Because everyone else on
the only team I know is Moist Esports. I love Charlie and the way he runs his esports team. I've never heard of Moist.
About 10 of our teams have already found themselves within Climatizer, but it is
going to be
point number 1.
Oh
shit!
shit!
A very interesting battle across these next 3 games.
It's great. That fight went on so long. I didn't even look at where the zone was, to be honest with you. And as you can see, it looks like he's going to the northern side here of World's Edge. Not be too surprised to see a survey camp finish here. A lot of teams already backing on that. Some maybe even thinking about an ending even more north than that, right on that respawn beacon. But it's always a good idea to look at some of these teams, our hard zone teams, and see where they are. 100 Thieves already set up right in that respawn beacon area that I talked about.
Yeah, the survey camp move from Climatizer for a lot of these players was so vital as well to make sure they can actually get in a good position, as Gamewood now are going to be getting an engagement, will get a couple of knocks and leave no witness, get eliminated. Gamewood still surviving, but it looks like a third party's on the way.
TSM are in the vicinity. And TSM are looking for blood here. They're looking to pick up the pieces, but also SSG very, very close. So both teams have to be extremely careful. And look at these shots coming in from Vols. Big E.
Come on, Vols.
As I mentioned, 58% of TSM's points came from kills on World's Edge throughout regular season, and you can see why. They like to push their advantage. They like to try and pick up the pieces of teams that might be weak nearby when they play Edge. They've also got beacon information, which is going to be very handy, but of course a lot of teams are going to be looking to get that beacon 2 information a little bit later. Godfire also get eliminated, and we're down to 16 squads.
16 squads already, like you say.
Damn, now he tapped him in the sky.
Fall out of this lobby. Alliance the first to go. NorCal Esports out.
Oh yeah, if they would have traded, yeah.
We'll have to wait for game number 5 to have some sort of effect on their leaderboards and how they're going to look. But TSM, you can see them at the moment, just surveying the area. They know there's a couple of teams around. They also know there was one player that did stay alive from Game Ward, so they're going to have to try and hunt him down. If they can find Psychop, who's just scarpering away there towards Climatizer, there might be a little bit of KP on offer for them. But
oh, so it did work. Okay, the Star Command did work.
Continuing on that merry, merry path.
And we've seen TSM play a circle very similar to this.
Oh yeah. I love TSM as well. But yeah, I've played and a couple of times with fun FPS, so I love fun. Like so.
And we're having one heck of a battle.
And he just got with XSET, and the XSET is really good org. One of their co-founders is a black woman, so they got a
digi-threat to work with as well. So he's going to be able to see through the clouds and force that team back. So they have complete and utter control of this train tunnel now, and looking to do a little bit more damage here with a 30-30. And look at that thing. You could not ask for more. Maybe a little purple or a gold mag, but that thing is looking pretty much...
It surely is kidding. That bitch got a skull pierce on that motherfucker too.
And we're going to see...
Hey, they don't want to get bitten too many times with that thing.
Really make a difference in where they were dropping on the northeast side as well. But I would say XN and 100 Thieves, the two teams that had priority.
Oh, shit.
They had free choice of where they wanted to be moving.
We love that, yeah. So I like XN as well.
Most likely going to pull out towards that beacon.
But I do like Sweet. Like, I love Sweet Dream. He's with NRG.
Resides there.
Is it NRG? Yeah.
Damage being done already by Fun.
I like Sweet.
Damage points away from getting that Evo shield all the way up to purple, and Exet already looking for.
That's what I was saying earlier in the call. I was like, he's one I know. I recognize from the conversation we had the other night.
You've already done the work to give yourself the HP to survive.
She probably ain't even listening, but yeah.
Drive towards that end game, but it looks like I mentioned they've got complete and utter control of the train tracks now. They've forced both teams away. They now can take a little bit of time to establish what their next step is going to be. And it's going to be interesting to see what that zone does pull down. Is it going to be towards that beacon? Is it going to pull a little bit more further away towards survey camp? We're going to have to see how that progresses.
By the way, Flora still haven't moved outside of the red. They are still making their journey from Thermal Station after winning that elongated fight with Alliance. So they're going to be arriving very late. It's whether they'll be greeted by some edge teams when they arrive and be completely punished for how long that fight went on. But it does seem like they were able to loop for a long time without any sort of contest because people move so quickly to the northern side of this map up towards survey camp. It is a circle that people can heavily bank on the north, and that's why we saw so much movement.
TSM still just holding down the ridge, overlooking fragment at the moment.
What you been up to today, Sterling?
Behind them, making sure their backs are clear.
I ain't never heard of Moist. That's
zone, of course, starts to close.
That's crazy. I ain't never heard of that thing.
They're in a great position. This is one of the
How on MK? He's switching back and forth. Oh, really?
On this high ground, and you can control these big rocks that, like you see here, they can control any team who's making.
And you know what? That's so funny, Nicole, because I be doing the same thing. Like sometimes I just need that controller, but then like right now, I get my mouse and key, little. I like playing on MK.
Like J-Lings, who are so kill heavy when it comes to regular season, then we're looking to try and replicate that now here.
You got COVID again? Did you have COVID before? You better stay your ass in the house.
They were a fantastic 3v3 fighting.
I hope you get the feeling better.
A little bit too aggressive and will find themselves getting third party. But it seemed like as the season went on, they matured, they started to learn, they started to adapt, and it seems like the perfect time for them to find form.
I mean, it's a great story, this team, right? J-Lings Esports, like you mentioned, started the season as a duo. Yeah, they had to work through, managed to get the thirds, managed to find their way towards LAN, and now, of course, representing Jesse Lingard's esports team, J-Lings. So a great story, and I'm sure they're looking to keep moving on that trajectory and maybe get towards that finals lobby and see what they can do. But look at Nax now, threading the needle with his charge rifle. He's only got the 2 times on it. He's finding some bodies to play with.
Yeah, those teams who are going to be arriving late are going to have to be careful because there are charge rifles in a lot of different positions. You've already seen the beams flying across the map and making noise across of World's Edge. So you've got to plan your rotates accordingly. You need to make sure that you are watching certain angles, but also have a direction of where you want to end up. What is the end goal from your movement? You can't afford to be wishy-washy with your decision making.
Well, speaking of,
I must see it. Yeah, okay.
This building, one of the Prio buildings, I would say, potentially towards one of these end games. We got an option to jump into a listen.
What you up to today, boss?
Crypto drone here. I don't see it. I'm even gonna waste ammo on that Barbie, bro.
And he ain't got before. I'm gay. Okay.
I don't see him right on bridge.
Maybe get ready to fuck out next. Get ready. Like maybe, you know.
Sterling.
Yeah, every time closing.
Sterling's gay. We don't care. Hello? Like, you tried to troll the wrong chat. Hey.
He went all the way back,
I think I got it from the gym. That's the place oh yeah, see, that's why I haven't been back in the gym. I haven't been back in the gym. I tried to go, but I can't because I just know the gym already nasty. Right, welcome in. Hey, we all gay, baby. welcome to the stream. But yeah,
this is even better.
I'm gonna give me a treadmill. I've been or a treadmill or a bike. I've been looking at the Peloton. The Peloton. I've been seeing them on the Facebook Marketplace. So for the low. They got them on there for the low, so.
Like we did before.
Yes. The same as Nasky, remember?
Yeah. We just hold the back.
They're pushing out.
Baby, them comms, baby, they on point.
Any angles?
Yeah, they're trying to push for cover.
They're gonna push off of that, but that's fine. I can shoot on them. They're gonna push off of that. Yeah, they are. 16-1.
They're gonna push.
Remember, 100 on him.
I queued on.
Missed on him.
Baby, he doing that math quick.
Well, it's J-Lings try and hold off the
Ooh, that was a
pushes.
good.
It's gonna be TSM
Ooh, that's
who are trying to
TSM.
force their way into this fight.
Oh,
TSM recognize
shit.
This is an isolated fight, and this is where they want to try and thrive.
It's North America versus the United Kingdom. I think we're going to learn a lot
Oh,
from this
shit.
fight, but TSM have done a plenty amount of damage.
Oh, come on, TSM.
Pushing up, they are getting closer. They want this. You also heard J-Links were considering Valking as well, but I don't think they're going to have time to. They're going to have to take this fight.
Purple versus purples. No one with the HP advantage. Who can get the damage advantage? It's going to be Varholz and Hal.
Ooh, come on, Hal. Come on, Hal. Show them you on MNK, baby. It don't matter. Your team is there. Come on, Raps. You better step.
You're going to see the ult come through, and that is going to throw a spanner in the works ever so slightly, but TSM still with a very big advantage here. Rip through that shield. Utilize your own shield to stay alive.
Hal using that knockdown shield to give his teammates a little bit of an opportunity to reset. They know it's a 2v2.
Yeah.
Either side has been knocked. With this noise that's going down there, is anyone else in the vicinity?
Finish him off. Fuck that.
To try and cause some problems here. Hal hasn't been finished yet, so they might be able to stick the res here.
And they are.
The res because Passion are in the vicinity. You are completely right, but Circle is going to be moving, which is very much going to speed up this fight as well. But TSM,
Come on, baby. Reset, baby.
I think they'll be very
Reset, baby.
Force J-Links away.
Hell, Hal went up in that bitch. He said, fuck the shit, baby. He was thumping that ball. Oh, my gosh.
Be able to loot up a little bit, as you see.
Oh, my gosh. That makes me moist.
Process for TSM. Who do they try and fight? Who
Right,
do they try
Sterling.
and take a spot off of? And J-League, you can see down to one now. Zane.
Not the VHS workouts.
He was hoping it was anybody.
Oh, shit.
Honestly, TSM might just be able to walk into this circle, but they've just got to be careful of what's coming in from behind them, because there are a couple of teams.
Ooh, shit.
Shreds, and suddenly Urban gets hit to the floor.
Ooh, shit. Three. You just, did you just squad wipe? You fucking nasty. Come on, baby. Come on. Oh, my gosh. 1v3 in the motherfucking ALGS. Get your team them points, baby.
3 clips.
They weren't ready. 3 clips, 3 clips. God damn. They were not ready for him to flank behind them. They thought they were clear.
Overlook some of these teams rotating in with how he's shooting at the moment. Anybody who steps out from behind.
Baby, he is doing what that 301 supposed to do, baby.
Three-piece that I will want to see over and over again. But
Ooh.
now it's about where you go from here. 13 squads remaining. You can see you can rotate north and try and get on the kind of cheeky side of this circle, but there are going to be teams in that vicinity. There are going to be teams that will make it awkward. If we can see the map, you can see there's a lot of teams. Look at everyone just building around the middle side here.
3 clips, 3 kills. God damn. Oh shit.
Fresh off the back of that win.
Oh no, you getting hit in the back.
Flat on their back, one of their players looking to try and turn this one back into their favor, but this is a fight on the edge of zone. Are they going to be able to stick the res? It looks like that is the call, but then a little bit of an audio cue might allow the team on the low ground to push.
Yeah, and now you've got Sia coming into the equation as well. SSG drop, looking to try and lead the charge, do some damage, but they're also very aware Circle is going to be closing, so they've got to speed this up. They need to get into this fight quickly and can't allow this res to get off.
Resi's going to be stuck.
Oh, he's stuck in between. Space Station got eliminated. Okay, Flora.
And that'll be at least 6 KP for them. And Mike, I mean, he's got 6 KP himself.
Yeah, 7 kills across the board, and that is.
Oh shit! How? Oh! What happened with TSM over here?
TSM eliminated.
Damn, we missed that whole fight.
They weren't able to comfortably walk into this zone.
Ooh.
So many teams on the southeast side of this circle, Mark, and the teams that have been able to get up to that beacon we were speaking of, they are sitting pretty.
Northception, who of course, who came off the back of the win on our last game that we saw on Stormpoint, looking pretty good in this one as well. 11 squads now remaining, but they got to force their
Look at all these seer alts, man.
Try to do so. Tidy's going to get that exhibit down. That's going to give them the information. Now they're going to try and move forward as well off the back of the Bangalore smokes, but there's a lot of teams stacked up onto this building. It's an Apex Legends sandwich down, and they want to be the
oh shit!
Enough space. Northception, they get eliminated. FC Destroy.
Okay, Excess still up.
They will claim this building.
I see Fun got big charge rifle.
But as I've said, there are about 5 teams.
It's 9 teams in this little ass circle. 9 squads.
And who are the teams that we kind of highlighted need to maybe find a little bit of form in this lobby? You're looking at Oxygen. Oxygen are involved in this last fight. You're 100 Thieves. They're just about inside of where that zone's going to be in that truck as well. Moist Esports, who had a great game last time we saw them out. And now hoping that Walsey can pull off a little bit of
Oh, he could. Moist got eliminated.
Oxygen hold their ground.
Does this open things up for 100 Thieves, though? They were right above Oxygen. I think Oxygen are well aware. Crook tries to get out of dodge. He wants to escape. He wants to elongate his life so they can get as many points as possible. 100 Thieves will claim that building, which is going to be the kind of most advanced building towards the circle right now from this southeast side.
Interesting to see.
Oh my, that's so crazy. I've played with so many of these people.
Rocks, like I mentioned. So if you are a team who's
Anmu.
you are going to have fun. Who is that team?
I played with Anmu recently.
Of the Apex Legends Championship.
Hey, that motherfucker know his shit.
And here we can see the lay of the land. Pulverix on the north, Dreamfire just west of them. Those two teams are going to have to fight on the northern side. And you could argue in a very good spot to win this game. It will really depend on how much they damage each other. But down south,
but you got Excel, you got Nocturnal. Oh, that motherfucker nasty. Fine.
They might have free reign of that south side.
Exit trying to make the move. You can see Nocturnal moving across a little bit towards where that zone is going to be pulling. He's trying to scout and he's trying to pin these two.
Make sure y'all hit that like button. Like it up.
To do so, then maybe they will be able to hold these teams out and pick up the KP. They send them crashing back down to earth.
I never did start TikTok.
Looking to pick up free KP. Flora eliminated.
Flora, they did so well in this game. Nocturnal managed to do so much damage as now Exit will push up to the south side. They've got the smoke for cover. Funk goes down.
E36 though. Still trying to move up as a full 3-man behind the last two remaining members of Exit here. Exit have to be extremely careful, and the question is, are these smokes going to be enough to allow them maybe to turn this into a 2v2 situation?
E36 are going to be in the vicinity.
Ooh, shit.
Allow Exit to get away.
Zane is still alive.
Gets into the top 5.
Woo! Come on, Zane!
I want some as well.
It's going to be a full English. Surely J-Ling's into the top.
Come on! Hey, this motherfucker shooting his guns.
For quite some time, and he's still going.
Baby!
To calm it down. He wants to try and get into the top 3 here. Still has to think about placement points.
This motherfucker got 6 kills. He want to kill everybody.
In front of him, he's going to shoot it and he's going to make it fall. The only thing that can stop him, Dan, it's got 9 bullets. He needs to find some light ammo.
But we've still got Dreamfire, we've still got Pulverex, those two teams I was talking about on the north side, but now E36, the team that drops kind of in this area, are going to be able to make a real threat towards this late game. Aimbot, it looks like
they rotate.
rotation round. I think they've spotted.
They spotted him. They solo, yeah.
Zane in a solo. Zane is a terminal.
Hey, that's 3 people. They better not go over there on that bullshit.
Well, they're certainly going to take some damage. Look at this. Zane's like, you know what? I'll take you all on. He's going to throw the black hole down. He's going to try and finish off 1 kill. It's another one here for Zane. Surely.
Woo! Almost. That's all right, Zane, baby. You went down with a motherfucking fight. He didn't run. He said, fuck it. Let's get it started then, baby. He said, let's get the party started. L. Hey, go on, Zane.
Giving up that northern spot, though. You can see now they find themselves down to a 2-mate. Shumbi's going to go down as well. Pulverex eliminated. We're down to 2. And it's Dreamfire.
Dreamfire. I remember them from North Carolina. When we went to ALGS.
Now surely they can close this one out.
And I said Dreamfire, best performing team in World's Edge, and they're going to try and carry it on, but it's
That's crazy. I done met so many of these people. Come on, Dreamfire. Come on, baby. Hey, hey, let's go. Okay, GG's. Hey, London, how you doing? Zane eating. Zane, baby. Zane was for the snap. You hear me? Hey, I met them at ALGS. Look at him. Oh, how old is he? Why he look so young?
Those priority positions, but Dreamfire, the damage they kept outputting, made it so
I wonder how old he is. He looks so young.
The team who had the option to maybe stop Dreamfire, but Dreamfire, we talk about taking risks and taking important fights towards endgame, deciding to push the team in the prio position because they had the opportunity to do so. By doing that, they control the entire end circle. They have that height, they have the opportunity to rain down the fire, but with all due respect to them, massive win, congratulations. I feel like there's one player we need to kind of
Zane, he definitely the MVP of that game. Yes, sir.
And what he was able to achieve from J-Lings. They were pushed by TSM. He was left as a solo.
Let me
Walks around,
see.
destroys the entire team of passion. We see them put down more shots. We go.
I know whoever passion coach is probably over there like, y'all just got one. I know whoever they team coach is hot.
For your team is worth its weight in gold and really could be the difference.
I know he hot.
To kind of finals or not.
Absolutely insane. I mean, that's game number 1 done on, of course, World's Edge. Game number 4 overall, and we've given our thoughts. It's time to hear from the desk and see what they've got to say.
There's only one word to say after that one, and it starts with a Z or a Z since I'm here in London. And it's Zane, baby.
Baby Zane.
The crowd got hype. I felt a tingling in my body watching some of the things that I saw Zane do. I didn't think it was possible. I know Dreamfire won. Congrats again, another APAC North win, but Zane stole the show, Tiff, undoubtedly.
I mean, look, is that the buff of just announcing your org today, Jay
right.
Esports? They had been sitting on that for a bit. They announce it, and to come out in such a dominating performance, right? Usually, if you're going to be the last member alive, you want to salvage some placement points. Bro was just sending it. He's like, oh, what? There's 3 of you? I'll take it. I don't care. I'll take this.
Hell yeah.
Like,
hell yeah.
Standing still.
Possibly the best single-player performance that we have
seen. Yep.
You know, in LAN, let alone on this stage this weekend. That is going to be in highlight clips for years to come.
Surely is, baby. Hey.
Incredible tracking. You know, taking them out all one by one. Just.
I'm trying to see how old on Dreamfire.
I'm begging. Can we see this again? Get tape, guys. Can we get this back? I need to see some more Zane. It all started off though in a very interesting fight with Alliance and Flora. Tiff.
Look, this contest I have been watching happening in scrims over and over, and I would say it's been about 50-50, right?
Freckles is fine as fuck. Hey, those on TikTok, we are on YouTube doing a watch party for the ALGS.
Right? They didn't have a lot of resources, and I thought they were going to have the upper hand when Flora decided to flank. Now, when I got scared was when I saw Mandy with that Mozambique in his hand, because I remember at the beginning of Pro League, he once told Hackett, my beak go crazy. It did not, in fact, go crazy in that moment, but overall, we'll see how
Something to be worried about, Gino, but then it became
not my beat go crazy.
Against Jay Lings, and that was when
there you go.
To perform. Look at this.
Yeah, here we go. I mean, the R301, it's known for its accuracy, and he certainly
baby.
the first soup. Then he switches over and says, you know, look, I've been in that firing range. I know how all these guns work, and he does not miss a bullet.
He didn't miss a shot.
There was a little video on Twitter where people were saying, you guys thought it was wall hacks, you thought it was aimbot, you thought it was all this stuff. He's doing it at LAN. I think it was Nags actually recording it saying, no, this guy's the real deal. Quite possibly the best aim at LAN. Quite possibly the best aim we have seen.
Damn.
Legends. What a moment from him. Xset making it into the top.
That boy aim was immaculate.
There for 100 Thieves, but he couldn't do it by himself.
He was finna get him right there.
And Dreamfire started fighting out for it, Tiff, and then Dreamfire would take the win, which is a big deal for them. Trying to get their rhythm, they found it here on World's Edge.
Yeah, which is exciting for them, right?
7-7-7-7-7. That goddamn Eva A. I wish I could get my guns. Hey, that boy was lasering James. Like, I'm over here cheering like I'm at ALGS. Oh, man, this just remind me. That's why I lost my voice when we went to ALGS last year in North Carolina. I was hoarse. Like, my voice was gone.
18 points. I mean,
gone. What voice? I didn't have a voice. I was too busy cheering.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Roy getting the love. He deserves that guy.
Zane definitely has 1,000 hours in aim labs. It shows. It shows. It definitely shows that. Hey, he brought them up. He brought them up. But just getting them kills, baby, when he was sitting there squad wiping.
Weirdly enough, you know, pretty much only together on LAN with Bolin.
Let's see your videos. Thank you, James. I appreciate it. Make sure you come over here and drop me a sub on YouTube if you haven't already.
That transition game. Game 5 now, it's kind of do or die because you're not in a position to really challenge for first.
It's the same name on YouTube. Those on TikTok.
With only game 6 away. TSM notably in the bottom half alongside Alliance, who take another 0. Let's take a look at the series standings as well. I think we have those available. It is Xset still on top, 65 points. They have certainly come to play to start off their tournament. Interforce, though, grabbing second because of that great game they had just last game for Northeption with a win as well. Moist Esports, notably, and Jay Lings, 2 teams outside of in the top 5, but without wins yet, Gino. So that's looking very good for them.
Yeah, Moist incredibly consistent so far.
Dang.
Being consistent in always making that final day of LAN, and if they keep this up, you know, there's no doubt in my mind.
Yes, I definitely will. I appreciate it.
Dreamfire sitting in 10. That's actually surprising considering they just won Game 4. It kind of also tells you the story of how they really did need to step it up. I know we said this is the moment they needed to. They're doing it. But now heading into Game 5 and 6, is this the start of something new? Or is this really, you know, just maybe a once shot in the dark here for Dreamfire? What's your anticipation?
I'm going to give it to Gaskin, right? He's our stats man. You heard him say that they have one of the most winning percentages on World's Edge. So this was map 4, first game on World's Edge. What do we see? Dreamfire takes a W. They could just have better rotations or feel more confident on this map, and it's clearly showing. So I don't think this is a one-off. They could, like XSET, decide to double down and win another one right
I
now.
gotta go get dressed. Got some work to. Okay, I'll see you later, Vontae.
Just split one playoffs, and it's crazy.
I will see you later.
Talking about, but also that troubles me, right? Because I always think to the big show on Sunday.
Y'all, when I tell y'all these ALGS events are all fucking day. What was in that, 10 hours?
It was non-existent. So how do they?
We was in that bitch 10 hours, y'all.
Identifying it, you know, is it just time? But
We was hungry because all you can eat, all they had was chicken tenders and everything was $20 or more.
It's really hard.
Water bottles was damn near $5. Like shit was, it was crazy. I'm like, hey.
Right, you know, both loot quality and
I want to go to the one this summer in London.
Completely different. So I think for Dreamfire, you know, having those differences between the two maps, sometimes it's a little bit hard. You know, sometimes you know, you've been playing for a spot for a lot longer, and you just have so much more experience there that when you come to LAN, you don't necessarily get the POIs that you have in your home region where you're always going to be one of the stronger teams.
Right.
It can be really hard to adapt.
yeah, I mean, I have to, you know, talk a little bit about KCP. You know, looking at the other side of it, they are sitting at 0 points after 3. Going out in 20th place, contesting every single time. That is kind of the challenge of the wild card of the group stage because now you're playing AD, AC the next 2 games, and everything shifts again and again. It actually becomes a little bit more consistent for these teams once we get into the elimination brackets and the winners brackets.
I wonder how old he is.
Just that much.
I went to their Twitter
Right, you want to make your way into that winner's
because he looked like he about 14.
possible. So starting here and now is exactly what they need to do, and XSET is poising themselves to do exactly that. And I mean, yeah, if they play this consistently throughout the groups, it's going to be fine. I said it earlier.
Yeah.
Consistency is key. You have 6 games in a series to make something happen, and they've really extended their lead, and no one's really able to chow for that.
You know, I think, you know, the play level that you have, you know, in the group stages versus that final lobby, completely different. You have to be a much better team to succeed on the final day than you are right here. But also the tempo and how well you need to do, right? I mean, at the moment, it's, you know, the top half are going into winners bracket, bottom half going into losers bracket. So you only need to be...
Shy, what up, girl? How you doing?
Sunday where everyone is playing for that first...
Those on TikTok, we are live on YouTube watching the ALGS. If y'all want to pull up to the stream.
Fnatic, a team that you had mentioned earlier, leading that group, a team that notably got 4th place at our championships. And
Also, make sure y'all like the stream over here on YouTube. Make sure y'all hit that like button if y'all haven't already. Like it up.
Substituted for Dark Zero when they were missing out in Sweden, and now Jim Burton back. Obviously, has done very well with Graceful, being able to kind of put that team together. I mean,
Her top a little
this is
tight.
Obviously, a lot of teams we expected to performing here, so the competition's only getting better.
Yeah, you mentioned
I like that
City.
outfit,
The
though.
first thing I saw when I looked at that was there are a lot of Edge teams in that group, and I was curious how it was going to start affecting it because IG is one of the zone teams in the Group D that's stacked, and I was like, okay, if you're saying that they're performing incredibly well,
Eva 8 ain't no good. 7777. Hey, that's all it do, Izzy.
exciting, and I think it's really
What, you
cool.
went back and watched it?
I really wanted an APAC North team to
I'm
win.
doing good, Shy.
I
Doing
don't know
good,
why,
baby.
but I really did, and
What time is it? I got a meeting at 3:30.
I'm getting a little excited.
But I'm going to still leave this on. Just go do my meeting because it's 30 minutes.
European take home the championship. I mean, but we had it in North America. You know, we expected maybe a TSM.
But I'm doing good.
NRG. There was a lot of talk about Optic, and then all of a sudden,
Look at fun.
Dark Zero yet again, which still is
Finna see what I'm going to eat. I don't know what I'm finna eat.
and hoisting that trophy as well.
IG are doing well, though, so, I don't know, home ground advantage
It's
there
possible
for them.
I like them. I mean, how about Alliance? Let's talk a little bit more about them. Obviously, it's not necessarily the most positive situation. Quick point on them. How do they turn it around? Is it any ideas?
it's interesting that you know, yeah, having a look at those contests that happen throughout scrims and how that's already changed that we're seeing that on land.
Is NRG not in this one?
One of the most wildest contests I have ever
Look
seen.
how
The fact that there was ultimates coming out.
They not in competitive Apex somewhere?
That Horizon got the black hole ready. I mean, that's
What?
that's actually kind of crazy. I mean, these teams have been doing all of their research. I mean, we've had info come out.
Wow.
Even
Damn. Who all on their team besides Sweet?
Are around these POIs, right? And that is something that these teams need to look at to make sure that they can win those contests.
Well, great things to talk about.
Let me see. NRG. So Nice Wig is broadcasting the other lobby.
I want to ask you guys, in terms of overall, which game?
But see, this is okay. Yeah. Dark Zero. That's okay. NRG Sweet. Okay. Yeah, I have to watch it again.
As of right now, we don't know what Game 6 is like, but it would be good to know regardless. All right? Okay, chat. Also, going into Game number 6, talk about the scores. Overall scores here real quick, chat, before we get in. We have Fnatic, first place, 48 points. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, right? Fnatic, first place, 48 points. Energy, second with 43. Then IBG, 41.
Energy. Okay.
Top 5 right now, bro. It goes 48, 43, 41, 41, 30.
And the official B stream, because the main one is the A stream. Okay, yeah, C versus D.
From top to bottom than
Okay.
I mean, the two teams out of my top 3 that I picked are in the top 3 going into this last game. You were up there as well, Fnatic, I think.
Why did my thing say Zaire?
I'm not even that hot.
I hate this phone sometimes. Like, quit fucking changing my words.
You're not even wet. You're not even wet, bro. I'm soaked. Wait, let me read through the scores.
He always sweating.
The guard, GHS, LG, Singularity, ESA,
I remember at ALGS, he goes, I might be a little sweaty. I said, a little? Hell, shit. We see it. We see. He's my, but I don't stink, dude. I said, no, you don't stink. Nice wig is nice.
You think it's time, baby? I'm down to
Don't think I forgot.
Okay, so this is B lobby, y'all. I guess we can watch this here while we waiting on A lobby, baby. We can flip flop, you know what I'm saying? And we get a little commentary from Nice Wig as well.
Game number 6, chat. Last game of the day. Let's make it.
Okay, so this is the last game for them.
DZ heads on over to Geyser, baby, and EXO runs DZ out of town, Greek. They actually forced them to go to Geyser, big man. I like that, bro.
I mean, I think it's a smart choice. They switched to the drip, though.
Yeah.
And now they can actually play the game out.
Yeah. This is awesome, man. And we have a little bit of Greek spam going on in the chat, big dog, with the cloud goggles. Love to see it. Awesome, man.
Love
But
to see it, baby.
Chad,
TSM doesn't. No, they're already playing. They're on stage A. So A and B. This is stage CD right here. So they were on a commercial break.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there's two different minds.
Did they? Is this the same one?
And it was
Oh shit.
far quicker this time as well. So now they can start to think
So
about
now
moving towards
they
the
back in the
circle.
game.
It's also a far closer circle than the one before.
Oh, okay. They already back. We back over here now. Never mind.
6 or 7 teams that have already rotated.
They were on break. So Alliance already they got them out of there this time. They didn't. That's crazy. They didn't move.
SSG who are trying to push them as well. SSG managing to stabilize. They haven't lost a player.
So TSM is on this lobby. Yeah.
In a lot of trouble here. Just one player left alive.
Yeah, SSG have moved pretty quickly all the way from Lava Fisher as
Oh,
well.
he got
They
stuck.
can try and hold down this staging spot. It looks like with the knocks, they should be able to hold this area, but it is going to be a lot of area to try and hold.
The good thing here for Space Station, you're wondering why it's such a popular area here staging. They do have that beacon information as well, so they'll be able to have the info on where that zone is going, which is why you see them in the position they find themselves in. They're trying to get that gen down, trying to find a place to put it where it's not going to be in the line of sight of too many teams, but it's being a little bit fiddly.
There you go. Hey, he put that bitch. He had to get that bitch in a good spot.
For SSG to get any beacon information being down here is the issue. Like, they're giving up the height. They are instead playing down low, and at the moment they are setting up for it. But they can comfortably set up. They just need to be very wary of what teams may be arriving after hearing all that emotion. You eventually go down. They tried to escape, but they were quickly eliminated.
That you are big. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate that follow as well. Welcome to the shop. We are live on YouTube, so make sure you come over here and drop your girl a sub. I stream over here in the mornings, and we be on Twitch at night.
Even though you can see Renner Tricky is very, very low.
TikTok, I be on here sometimes, because sometimes it be too many kids and I can't deal with it, baby. I don't like to deal with my own kids all the time, so I know I ain't finna deal with other folks' kids. So we be on YouTube and Twitch. Hey Rachel, good afternoon. How you doing, baby?
Consider taking the fight versus Alliance, because now Alliance, because the circle is
now I'm ready to see Zane do some more, baby. Zane went off last game. I want, baby, just put it on Zane. That's who I want to spectate.
They still got plenty of time.
Hikes, he was good. Hikes.
A zone-based game plan. It's all about picking up KP on edge, trying to force their way in, pinch a couple of teams, and kind of weave their way through the traffic, so to speak. So no surprise to see them just taking their time to loot up, making sure that they're ready for those fights when they do break out. But
I love seeing black women gamers. Hey, Jess, we out here. I promise you. We are out here. I've been doing this for almost 5 years. That's crazy.
You haven't had the opportunity to do damage. 3 blues, even though maybe a couple of months ago might have seemed quite good at this point.
We out here. We still fighting, you know what I'm saying? But we out here. They gonna see us. They gonna see us. I can guarantee you.
Now we're gonna see a minor pause where all teams are going to kind of wait on their rotation, wait for this next zone to finish so you can get beacon information now from zone 2, preparing for zone 4, and then you move in. TSM, for example, they are hovering around Harvester because they have a beacon to play around. Alliance, they have one in thermal station as well they can utilize.
He got that flatline 301. He got a nice little setup.
They wanted to.
Elsewhere on the map, you can see Passion, who fell 1 by 1, unfortunately, in the last game. If you're a fan of theirs.
For a while, there wasn't any mainstream, and then I saw you on the lineup one day and got so inspired. Yeah. Hey, I've been trying. That's my main thing. I've been trying to break barriers for black. Not only black women, but black men and women in the industry, like, especially in this gaming industry, because when I came in, I was like, damn, hey, we not allowed here or something? Hey, hello? And then here come my country ass kicking in those, hey, y'all. Shit, y'all forgot about me? I'm here, damn it. Shit, y'all gonna see me. Y'all see me. Y'all see me. I know y'all see me. Because ain't nobody else doing it like me. I know y'all see me. I know it. I be having to talk my shit to their ass. Talk a little shit. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, and a charge rifle. Oh, yeah, that was perfect.
You have to send it in because you've got to
You got to.
You've got to pick up this KP and take advantage of these players that are going to be a little bit weak, and of course on that back foot.
They get the finish. Urban's going to be
Hey, that man trying to run.
And now you can see FC Destroy looking to live up to their name and looking to take the last 2 players down to add to that KP tally. Like you mentioned, this fight is completely and utterly isolated as well. Although you can see Jailings.
Baby, he looking left and right real quick.
Opportunity to sneak up on
Yeah, see me, I see you. Shannon, appreciate that follow over there on TikTok. Welcome. We are live on YouTube, y'all. Make sure y'all come drop your girl a sub. We're on the road to 8K subscribers.
Yeah, I think Zane is trying to slide down the hill at the moment, but he keeps being reeled back by the rest of the team, and they're saying, wait for your moment, and then you can start popping off once again.
Not just see what I did?
Oh, shit. He scared the fuck out of me with that smoke.
But I think if Jailings are patient here, they might be able to pick up.
Come on, exit. Let's go.
Staging once more. They are under a little bit of pressure here, but it looks like they found home territory.
I love fun FPS, y'all. Y'all don't like... The first time I ever played with him was Twitch Rivals. I was invited to play in the Twitch Rivals as a captain, and I picked him to be on my team. And y'all, they were DDoSing the fuck out of me while I was... 50K is on the line, and y'all are DDoSing me. And this is before, like, I knew about a VPN or, you know, because, hey, like, what the fuck? I ain't know nothing about that shit. But I wish a bitch would now. But it was like... And he was like, it's okay, Candy, I got you. Don't worry about it. When I tell y'all I was DDoS and still shooting my guns, we still was placing, we placed in the top 10. And I was getting kicked offline at the same time. And he was just like, it's okay, I got you. Don't worry about it. Just do what you can do, and I got you. And he wasn't lying. He had me. He had me. Found the line, double. Okay, appreciate you coming over here. Welcome. Well, see, it showed me the same name. Is it Sienna? Sienna? That's what it showed me over here on TikTok as well. So whatever names y'all have, I can show you. Hold on. Like whatever names y'all have on y'all top part of y'all TikTok is how it shows in chat.
We need to maybe work our way around the edge and find some fights ourselves.
And this has been a far slower lobby in terms of team fights that have been happening because
the C is pronounced like a K. Kiani. Kiani. Okay, I got you.
Fighting for those priority positions because they believe they can
okay.
When they have the read, but without the read, it's a guessing game, and people are trying to avoid those fights. They don't want to be too weak.
Ooh, okay, there's some fights now. Hold on. Ooh.
They're in an engagement again.
Well, there's a wrecking ball on the responding end, though, and that's going to slow things down for just a few moments.
Ooh.
Has to be very, very careful in this position. We got the R301 in the hands.
Big smoke. Big smoke. Big lasers. Oh, he said, "Fuck that."
Knock that they're so desperate to try and find, but look at the reset. It's coming in. This team is trapped inside of the building.
Yeah, they are going to be able to trap them, but it's how you want to approach this one. Tao's taking a lot of damage as well. Got to be careful. There is going to be one knock. Gamewood, they're down to 2, but can they respond?
Looks like they're going to have to just try and survive for now. Aimbot drops down to the low ground. Psychop is going to be finished off, and that will be them down to just 2.
Damn, them boys be moving.
Decided, you know what?
Yeah, it's the ALGS.
Back out this for a few seconds. We see it's a little bit busy. We think we've got the meds to rotate in and through zone.
Hey, putting that heartbeat sensor to that wall. This is how you get better at Apex, y'all. Watching the pros, I promise you.
That's going to give them a lot of cover here. That head glitch, and they should be able to reset safe.
And as you would have heard from Genome on the desk, a slightly different Dreamfire from what we saw during the regular season in terms of the players here today. But they're still finding the same success they had from regular season when it comes to World's Edge. Ooh,
now everybody on ooh, ooh, and the bang out. Oh, they got out of it.
Exit trying to reset. They do have the Rolling Thunder that's gone down from the Bangalore, though. The ultimate being used.
Oh shit! Fun went down with the grenade. Oh shit! Somebody's shooting. Somebody's shooting a charge rifle. Okay. Sykes got that Prowler, baby. He good with that Prowler. Damn, Fine went down again.
Once again, finds himself on his knees here.
It's not comfortable for Exet, and it's going to get worse. Passion get eliminated. This kill feed is going to explode in the next 1 minute because there are so many teams on this northern side that are going to try and drop down. Either you've got a Skyward Dive, you've got to get over teams, but then you risk just landing into the middle of nothing.
They might have to play as a duo.
Into a no man's land, and then suddenly you are going to be in a spot of bother. Or you try and walk your way in, you can already hear the damage ahead of you, you can already hear the gunshots. It's not going to be fun either way.
Speaking of fun, that's fun.
They trying to thirst that. Ooh.
Dreamfire reduce Exet to just 2, and Exet, who have had some fantastic games, 2 wins already today in this A versus B lobby, now have a little bit more of a difficult task ahead of them. Sykes is going to have that charge rifle, maybe look at answer back here with a little bit of damage.
Yeah, that was me though, cause my friend maintenance she was one of my mods. She was like, you should try Apex, and I was so heavy on Blackout, and that was season 0. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it out. So I tried it, and I was like, it's okay. Then I don't know. I think Blackout ended, or the new duty came, Warzone or something came out, and I was like, you know what, let me just try Apex again, and I've been on it ever since then. Been hooked ever since then. Oh shit! Ooh, ooh, ooh! Come on! Oh my gosh! No, with the damn. With the PK? I knew this one was going to be different because that PK on the ground now.
But they can be patient now. Round 3 is closing in 25. 14
okay, 100 Thieves. I like 100 Thieves too.
100 Thieves will be safe though. They don't have to do too much.
I like a lot of things. Cause Anmu is nice. I played with him like last month. And he was so nice. That boy know his game. Oh shit. Oh shit.
All down to Reps then. A lot to do. The damage has been done elsewhere, and maybe he could be able to escape.
Ooh.
Because he pops out, because he shows himself, suddenly he's going to be under fire, and TSM, this could be the end.
Or Reps manages to get the barrier off, but is he going to be able to find somewhere to play? That's the real question here. Multiple teams are looking at him, but even
ooh, good shots.
He's saying I can do it as well as the Roller Boys here.
Okay.
Coming in from that flat line.
TSM really looking to try and secure a bit of KP here. Reps desperate to try and get this finish. Doesn't look like he could do it at the moment. Exec gets eliminated. Remember, they won back-to-back games.
Damn, Exec went out.
Been able to find the same success here on World's Edge. As for TSM, 10th place at the moment. They haven't really been able to find the same success.
Ooh, come on, PK! Come on, PK! Come on, 100 Thieves! Damn! Why is he beating their ass with that PK like that?
I love some big shots from the Peacekeeper. They just
damn! That's the thing with the PK. When that bitch hit, it hit. But when that motherfucker miss and hit for 7 and 9 and you need that 99, ooh. Oh my gosh. He fucked them up.
How they want to approach this next serve.
SSG making their move as well to the second level of that crane tower.
Oh my gosh.
The winning position. Is it going to be that second level? Is it going to be a team on height, or is it going to be the low ground who can hold off and wait for those teams to engage and have to fall into their reticles? Northception, of course, winner of our game a little bit earlier on today on Storm Point. After winning most of that engagement, you'd say they got the advantage over TSM for sure. Getting those couple of knocks, now have to make their way in.
Let me go ahead and download this Chewy app.
About to start singeing away at their backs.
Vax is going crazy. What up, Intel? You're
amazing spot as well, but there's so many teams moving from this western side. But look at Jay Lings and the southeast side just sneaking into the circle.
Ooh.
With the wingman. Nice, heavy shot.
Heavy damage coming in from Tider. SSG now making their move as well. They're going to be playing under this bridge. Pretty sure that's 100 Thieves there. On the other side, SSG looking to do some damage.
Chewy, yeah, I just, Dr. Utopia just posted it on my Twitter. Girl, you should see how Star chewed up her little favorite dolphin. Baby, that motherfucker inside, she good at that bitch. You hear me? It was nothing left in the little dolphin, baby. You hear me? Oh. Oh shit, 100 Thieves got eliminated.
I'm gonna try and go back up.
Yeah, I'm just watching. Get up here.
Oh shit, 100 Thieves out. Pervex, who we got? Space Station? Okay, I remember them from North Carolina.
I don't know, chill, bro, chill.
Chill. He said chill, bro.
I'm going back up, I'm going back
NorCal, okay.
One drop right here, drop. Yeah, bro, they're resing above me. I can cancel res. You wanna kill these guys?
Where are they?
Above me at the cart.
How do we get there, bro?
We zip up.
Okay.
Alright, fine. I'm just coming down.
This guy's a solo.
Okay.
I'm coming, bro.
He got a re-45.
I have an ult cell if you need it.
Yeah, I do.
Climbing. 36.
I'm dropping it on the ground here.
Climbing again. Craig.
Yeah, I'm looking.
36 flash.
He died. It's fine.
Somebody else got the kill. If they would have just focused with him, they would have been got him. He was telling y'all he was solo. Listen to your goddamn
I don't know if we can, bro.
hell.
Queuing this guy. This guy might. They're not even on the fucking second level. We can play second level.
We can hear the intensity here from SSG, and that's because
Yeah, somebody else did tell me that too on Twitter. They said Kong toys. Yep, they sure did.
And it was always my worry with the placement of
They the strongest. Yep, that's exactly what somebody told me on Twitter.
underneath and through, which leaves them so vulnerable to these teams on the bridge.
Hold on, let me send the
All they have to do is
picture.
that risky play of taking the bridge off of two teams, which would be near impossible considering they would be watched from both angles. I will say, at the moment, Godfire in the best position of this game.
But on their back, guess who? It's Jailings, and Jailings look like they're about to make their move as well as North Left to the low ground. Wingman starting to hit some shots as well, coming in from Tide.
Oh no! Woo!
They're gonna have one on their back.
Do SSG try and get involved?
Come on, baby. You got. I'm about to say you got goals. Damn, he should have tried to pop a sail instead of that bat.
Different thing, similar to what Zayn was able to do earlier. SSG still a full 3, and SSG will be delighted with this. They played it perfectly.
They're gonna drop and they're gonna get these KP as
Woo!
well. The game we're down to 4, and that battle we talked about, Dan, is starting to break out as well up on that high ground.
Northampton, they escape.
Hey, Zane, I'm still alive, baby.
To make things awkward. Godfire, they push out.
Damn.
Godfire in one of the most commanding positions in this.
Hey, Ken, I love you, girl. Are we just watching? Yeah, we just watching. Yeah, we having a watch party.
Zone is going to close, and they're going to be safe for quite some time. The question is, are they aware of the position?
I tell her, them her babies. Oh, okay. Baby, she's good at that motherfucker.
Godfire drop here at staging. This is their home territory. They would have played
Yeah.
this 1,000 times and know exactly what to do. You will notice.
I think I'm gonna start doing these more often too, cause I kind of like just sitting back watching sometimes. Like shit.
Left of Northampton here, really to try and throw a spanner in the works.
Candy shop watch parties.
First. Because even though Jailings are down on that low ground, they've got the Horizon Q available, the gravitational lift, a way to get from low to high, Dan. They can wait for the damage to be done and then pounce. Space Station.
Okay.
Decisions to make here, and one of them is going to be swapping out weapons for ammo.
Dropped is good as hell too. I don't watch him, but I know of him, but I don't watch him.
Space Station could try and dictate the pace a little bit. They have fences to force people away. Jailings are down low. That is going to be tough for them to try and regain height. But
To be honest and be frank, it's only a few white people that I watch. I don't watch a lot of white folks.
SSG are aware of the position, and maybe they've realized we've got
Like, I like watching them in comp and in tournaments, but like when I'm browsing and doing my regular streams, I don't. Like, I watch black people I know, or you know, people I find entertaining.
Godfire's home is under attack.
Hey Brayden, how you doing?
Still, Jailings waiting in the wings, waiting for that knock, waiting to get involved.
Snakes in the
Giving good commentary. Yeah, I think I might start doing them more often. Oh shit. Oh. Oh, baby.
But where is Jailings in all of this? Here at Jailings.
Uh-oh. Come on, Zane. He said, fuck that. I done whooped their ass last match. We getting a dub this match. Let's go. Hey, it was a team, gang. That's how you third party some shit.
The perfect amount of time before they full sent it. It was just a matter of time before.
Hey, which one is Zane? I don't know them. Nasty ass third party. I love Nicewig. Now I will watch him. We was just watching his watch party. I love Nicewig. I love him. I do not watch his streams though, but I love him. I've met him in person. But I don't watch it, like I don't go in his streams, like. And to be honest, and even that I don't want to, I don't have time. Like I stream full time. I do this in the mornings. I got 3 kids. Now I got a dog. I got a cat. Then I have to do Twitch at night. I rarely can watch other people's streams. Like rarely.
I will say, take our game number 5. It's done here from the casting desk. It's time to hear from the guys and the girls down the analyst desk.
Ended with Zayn, an incredible performance in game 4, game 5. They build on that. J-Links Esports taking the W, but it was not without a valiant effort on the side of Space Station Gaming. Godfire.
I barely be having time to go sit in people's streams. If I do, I'm working and I'm lurking. Like, I can't talk or nothing. Like, I just be really lurking. I lurk in a lot of these streams. I like on a lot of people, but I barely can talk because I'm either working, videos, kids. Just, I be having a lot going on.
I mean, excitement is one way to put it. Let's just go ahead and
hold on, let me run downstairs real quick.
We're on that road to redemption, that full circle moment here. J-Links Esports started off as VZN. Actually, a little bit changes there at the beginning, but they played as a duo in the first match day of Pro League Split 1. They did that. They came out swinging. They bring in Nags. They have really good dynamic as they play together. We actually got to interview Nags on that broadcast, and just hearing the way that he talks about his teammates and just the chemistry that they have, it's clearly showing that they've been building on it, and it's paying off.
Yeah, formerly with E6, K-Switty, and Slayers, Nags finds a home here. Genome, though, it's more than a home. I mean, this is a team that seems to be playing off momentum, playing off of confidence, and that's what you need in this type of situation.
I mean, surely, yeah, after your teammates sit back and watch you take that 1v3, you know, they've got to be hyped up for that next game. It seems, you know, almost certain at that point. And, yeah, you're seeing with that performance, they, as, you know, Gaskin and Onset said there, they waited for the perfect moment. You know, when it played out in that final circle, you know, the other two teams, they really just couldn't look over the top and snipe them. Even though they were on the low ground, it was very tough for them to get unlocked, untangled from each other, and that just made it really easy for them to come out on top.
It was a great situation for them. They could wait, and I think also SSG making the decision. We want the KP. Sometimes that happens. As we take a look at the highlights of Game 5, only one more game to go. TSM trying to get going. XZ trying to get going. They've noticeably dropped a couple of near goose eggs here these last couple of games.
Yeah, it's been really tough, right? We were talking about them after map number 2. They had 56 points, would have put them in match point contention if this was Sunday, but they had only garnered themselves 9 points throughout the rest of those 3 games. So a little bit of a falling off, still holding on to the lead, and that's only because NTH hasn't really made a jump up, but they're starting to creep and close that gap there, so it's only a matter of time. But as I watch these highlights, we saw Vaxlon go off with the PK, and I'm like, I was like, name a better duo, Vaxlon and a PK, and then Scurry also had one, so they were just rolling through that end game. But this is the positioning you were talking about, and it's really interesting, Genome, because J-Links, they were originally rotating in on the side of Godfire when they were bunkered down in that building. They end up on the low ground and play it like a chess game and just wait patiently.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those situations where, you know, if the circle shifts just a little bit one way or the other, you know, the other teams might just be staring right down on them, and it's kind of tough, but that one shifted a little more to the high ground, which actually suited them in that case.
What I did like, too, is we've seen J-Links Esports, right, pop off with the kills, pop off with the performances in terms of the show-stopping stuff, but they just get it done tried and true. 12 placement points, 2 kills. They didn't have a flashy game, but you need that dynamic to be able to play all situations when they come up in Apex. Godfire also getting on the board, 14 points. That will push them well ahead of where they were in the bottom of the pack, hitting in the bottom 10 most of these games. Space Station Gaming, though, off to a continued great performance. They should be almost tied for 3rd here if my calculations are correct. But yeah, we've talked about it in terms of XZ, in terms of TSM, Flora as well, a team. It's either Flora or Alliance at the bottom, Tim. So, you know, there's a couple of, you know, dynamics that are specific to AB that seem to be really favoring a couple of these teams.
It's really interesting. It's now dubbed the Battle of Thermal Station. I want to give a shout out to Ben, who was like, I'm loving these chess-like contests with Alliance. They're putting some thoughts behind it, right? It's moving a little more slowly, the way they approach it. And in scrims, it was really 50-50, and I know Raven is probably cringing me here saying a contest is 50-50, because there are things you can do to shift it, right? But for the most part, that contest has been back and forth.
One shot can do it. One headshot. Let's take a look at the big overall series, though. Genome, react to this. XN on top. We mentioned they've slowed down here, but Northeption, Space Station, J-Links, all nice movers.
Yeah, the fact that the majority of those points are from 2 games is just, like, phenomenal. But, yeah, they don't really, I was about to say, like, they need to pick up the pace, but they don't, because, like, they're still that far ahead at 66. And, look, we've still got, you know, the 1 match left to play, but, like, it's very hard for anyone to catch up at this point. There's such a big gap between them and Northeption, almost 20 points there.
Yeah.
So
I know. One big game, though. So, I mean, let's put it into perspective as we take a close-up at Zane, getting a conversation. Looks like some surprising was just said right there. Couldn't be about his aim, though, because we know he's got that locked in as well, alongside PX and Nag. So I think got a haircut since the last time we saw him and interviewed him on stage in Sweden. All good things, though, from these teams. And I kind of want to, set the table. Last game, we've got to look at 5. It's been a great showing. Tiff, your takeaways heading into Game 6, expectations as we kind of get close to rounding out our day 1.
You said one big game, right? That's all it's going to take for XSET to get unseated at the very top. And those teams that are in 2nd through 5th place right now are all sitting around, mid-40s, early 40s. And that is a big game, a double-digit eliminations with that 12 points for placement points. So there is a very valid chance that someone is able to put that down. So if I'm XSET, I am doing everything that I can to minimize that, because you want to come out with a win on your group play for the first day.
Yeah, and it's also a very tight lobby as well. You have to acknowledge that, right? I mean, besides XSET, being a little bit further ahead there, but that's it. It's still only 66 points, which after a 6-game series in Apex is not like massive points, right? And I think that just shows that this is a tight lobby. We've got a lot of highly skilled teams here, and we don't have anyone just running away with it. We've got no one just rolling through the lobby, like it's a breeze or anything, because every team here is showing up.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the story throughout all of this weekend. You're going to see teams that have some issues, and they've got to solve them. And some will solve them. Some will get it right a couple times, and then they'll find themselves kind of slowing down. And that's to me where I say stay focused. It's almost like you have to tighten up at the end of the race, right? You don't want to trip and fall when you're almost at first place. A big win, let's not say it's impossible, a big win, a 28-point thing, if there's a 1-point game from XSET, it is possible Northeption or maybe even Jay Lings could take first place. And I think that would be demoralizing for a team like XSET, who have done so much to get here.
I don't know if it's demoralizing. You think about it, right? Those first 2 Storm Point games, they really had those zones favor their drop spot POIs. So it's only going to take one more zone that kind of favors another team that plays that style.
Well, just to interrupt, imagine this is match point. I mean, this is the same thing that happens. You cross the threshold, then you go nowhere. I mean, Gino, is this a legitimate problem? Am I just making this up, trying to create some type of drama here? Or do you really think that this is like, you've got to be able to show it? You can't go 4 games without showing up.
Yeah, I mean, sure, they got, 54 points in,
that's
2
insane,
games
right?
or
That's
something,
fine,
right? Yeah, I mean, in group stages, I'm going to say it is enough, honestly, right? If you're getting 30, 40 points, it is enough. And they've showed that, especially on Storm Point there, that they are just a cut above everyone else in this lobby.
Tiff, has anyone been surprising to you today?
I mean, look, I've seen some teams that I thought were going to come out here and perform incredibly different in a better way that maybe are performing a little lackluster. And that could be because we are on land. We have a lot of young, talented players, and this is their first time on a stage. You can't even imagine what goes into the amount of pressure that you're experiencing. You are surrounded by 119 other players that are the best at what they do. So you have to be able to lock it in. And I mean, I believe Verholst, right? He's been practicing in the past week alone, just locking it in, not paying attention to chat on his streams, because you have to have that. We are in a live stage environment. When the crowd starts going crazy, I mean, come on, let's go. We need to hear exactly who you're cheering for today. We want to know, because it's just a different dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about, teams that have been a little bit of a change-up, obviously Dreamfire was a change-up. The fact that they're even here with Dewa unfortunately not being able to make it, they, as we said, it's a little bit different from the team that we saw during Split 1. Right. They've been playing Bang, Seer, Bloodhound. Dreamfire are known for being a very aggressive team, but they did have a bit of an identity crisis during the split and sort of flirted with playing a more zone-heavy style. It didn't work out for them, and they stormed home in the end with a more aggressive style. So I feel like today, even though their comp is favoring that more aggressive style, we haven't really seen them just taking it to all these other teams, like someone like Northeption. So
I want to fix me a sandwich. Your girl and got hungry.
Which style are they
playing?
Yeah,
it shouldn't be surprised. I think Northeption, you mentioned that would be the team that I kind of have the biggest takeaway on. How aggressive that they're being, how confident that they're being, even getting into these.
I know I got to run right back downstairs. I hate when I do that.
Kills, to be able to say that, they're in contention. They're 2nd, 3rd place overall in this lobby.
With the black and gray jacket? Okay.
Heading into a lot
One shot on left. Okay.
Like people who could be hoisting up this championship, no problem. So representing APAC North, being able to do that and show
I feel cuss Justice out.
Representing on the other side. It's a strong day for APAC North. We've seen good APAC South performances. Good EMEA performances.
No, we're watching a tournament. We're watching the ALGS.
AB. So for me, does this make our job easier or harder, Tiff, to figure out what's actually going to happen?
I mean, we're getting such good representation from all regions, right? This is a global series, and they are all showing up. So I don't think it makes it harder. It's just more fun, right? Because it could be literally anyone that comes out on top. We said it best. There are some amazing teams behind us from all of the regions, and it's really cool to see a lot of the teams, such as Dreamfire, that came in last second to find success as well already.
Yeah, I think Dreamfire is a great story. You know, Gino, Moist, I brought them up, formerly Team Burger, now with Moist Esports. Big shout out to them as well. You know, Moist Critical, Ludwig joining in and actually being a part of it. He said, you know, esports, they just basically, the orgs, they just, you know, burn money. And that was what was so funny about it, as he's willingly throwing the money in, because he's saying this is worth investing in, and having that kind of humor go along with Moist, who have a lot of humor, and Waltzy, and you know, great personalities. I mean, this is a great situation for APAC South.
Yeah, it's so fun, and yeah, you know, from that same video, all the trophies that Most Critical was carrying around one. But guess what? There wasn't an Apex trophy in that pile, and they want one. And look, Moist are looking better than ever, honestly. You know, if there was any of the Apex tournaments, any of the Apex lands they've attended so far where they could actually be lifting that one, I think it might be this one.
Well, you know, I've got a very special thing to throw to here. Our very own Glitter Explosion, who's been doing phenomenally, by the way, doing a stage host today, is having a very special interview with some members from J-Links Esports. Let's head over.
All right, thank you very much, Rain Day. I am standing by. I'm infiltrating your space, J-Links, so I'm very sorry. We got to talk a little bit here, Zane, though, okay? Are you okay to chat for a little bit?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, we need to talk about what we saw 2 days ago. Okay, the crowd was, or 2 games, not 2 days. The crowd was going absolutely insane with that performance. The 1v3, I mean, what happened?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'm controller. I just shot my gun.
Hey! Hey, you hear him?
The roller excuse.
Big roller.
Okay.
Controller guy. Oh, he's not sticking. Oh.
All right. How's the squad feeling?
Look at him. He said, I'm a controller player, so hey.
Are you guys feeling
big
like
troller.
Some good momentum going on here?
Sorry?
Are you feeling you've got some good momentum going on?
This is probably like one of my best movement like I've like felt before.
All right, well, I'm getting the vibe, a lot of confidence here. You guys are looking fantastic. Congratulations on the dub. I'm going to send it back on over to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Glitter.
Look at Glitter.
Round of applause there. You know, it feels like J-Links Esports are locked in.
That's crazy. I really know these folks.
You know, good esports pro will give you. I just shot my gun.
Never did I ever think I'd be watching a watch party at ALGS.
There's got to be something else. But you can see that they're.
And I know these people and played with them and.
Into your momentum at the right time.
I mean, do you blame them?
Where's Ace or Timmy? They don't play comp, so you don't follow them.
After that interview, so I could only imagine. He's like, I'm mad because I didn't get more kills. That is the mentality of a pro player right there, because you're like, oh, wait, yeah, I won, but it could have been better.
You would know that if you follow them.
Because obviously they can shoot their guns.
Yeah, you always got to be looking for that extra 1%, right? That's why these guys get on this stage, because they're always looking for every little advantage they can get. And yeah, it's never good enough. I mean, we see teams that come top 5.
Big roller.
And they're always like, they're just
if only I were a pro Apex player. It's a lot. I mean, I couldn't do it.
That's right. And you kind of put that in comparison.
Like, they actually, like, they study the map. They study the storms. They, like, yeah. We just play. You know, we have fun with it. You know, they, it's a lot to go into it.
But want to get the job done. You've got teams like Deception. You've got, you know, Moist, who want to hoist it up for APAC South, which maybe Dark Zero, APAC South, or
hey DeAndre, how you doing?
If we raise the trophy, it's definitely APAC South.
Okay, all right, we'll let Gino decide that, and you back at home. Thank you so much for watching. We're gonna go up to our casters. You've been waiting patiently. We've got Game 6, our final game of the day, underway. Mark, Dan, let's finish it off.
Let's get it, brother. It's time for us to get into game number 6, and Dan, as the camera swings around, it's time for us to talk about what we've got in front of us, because it's the last game of the day here. We've just seen another region, our third region of the day, pick up a win. The question for you is, are we going to see every single region pick up a win here on day number 1?
Is South America going to get into the equation? Are we going to see every region represented when it comes to wins? Well, on the other side, you've got XZ, who are still first, right? They performed so well in maps number 1 and 2.
Damn.
They have a hefty lead going into match number 6, but because
I haven't been on TikTok all day. What's that mean?
There is a very small window of opportunity for teams to catch them up and maybe take the most points from this Group A versus B.
And the interesting thing as well is, even though Exit had that electric start, like you said, Genome summed it up perfectly. That's not a huge amount of points after 5 games in total, and the rest of the table is very, very close together, and Exit have kind of been dragged back a little bit in that points tally. First place and second place, not as big as a gap as it once appeared it would be. So, to say there's all to play for in match number 6 would be right. It's the final game of the day here in London. Game number 6 is live. The dropship is ready.
Yeah, this is the ALGS, y'all. This is the esports players.
That have come to the copper box, that have got involved on a Thursday here.
Or teams, rather than.
Early. I know you naughty scoundrels were making sure you were here, because this is going to be a big one then. Are we going to see the same fight down at Thermal? Yes, we are. You know, it's going to be the same. Someone's going to win it.
What up, Lion?
You pretended like it wasn't going to happen, Dan. I respect it.
How you doing?
Alliance versus Flora, part 3. Who's your money on?
Alright.
Alliance, as long as they can get the same early frag, then they should be able to win this one. They're dropping low, and they are making sure they get these bids ASAP.
Here comes the fight then. Hackers, good shots with the wingman, but not getting the
Oh,
knock.
shit.
Very, very uncomfortable. And I mean, Micah goes down here. Flora find themselves in 2. Flora find themselves in a horrible spot, and all of a sudden Alliance.
Damn.
That first contest is looking like once again, Thermal Station will belong to Alliance.
It wouldn't have felt right.
Ooh, shit!
Hold on. Suddenly it's not all over.
Oh, my gosh! Why did he hit him with that Sentinel for 126?
Didn't realize there was a Sentinel in play, and 126 is always going to do the business. He's going to go for the res here.
It's a res versus res.
The team's up to 2v2 then. And I tell you what, as crazy as it sounds, how a fight can change with one shot from that Sentinel. And I love this from you. He's repositioning now with that Sentinel. Found a little bit more ammo to play with as well. And now Alliance have got everybody up. But look at that Thermite! It's absolutely burning away those players on the outside.
Yeah, Alliance had the advantage. They could res inside. They could utilize the doorways to make sure they stayed alive. Now they have a huge advantage here. It's a 3 versus 2 again, and they've reset. They've got shields. Surely they can't throw this one away.
I would say normally yes.
Oh, shit.
But the Sentinel is a problem. And it is still hitting some big shots. Mike's going to get some ammo to play with at least. But this Sentinel really is the game changer here. One shot from this weapon, a headshot, and it completely changes. But are Alliance going to try and take that high ground here with the lift? It looks like they have. So Alliance now thinking one step ahead once more. How do we deal with the team who's taking space? We take the high from them.
I think it's also because they've seen the circle. They've seen where it's kind of heading, and it is coming down southwest. Teams will be starting to go towards Gunshot and trying to get into these positions down at the southern side of the map, over towards Tree, over towards Thermal. So Alliance, they need to finish this fight quick.
Oh, Mandy tries to say peekaboo.
Oh, shit.
This is going to have that wingman to do the damage, though, just to make
Oh, shit.
better for them and Alliance.
Okay, Alliance.
Victory. And I can say it once again, Thermal Station belongs to Alliance.
Well, thank goodness. It was looking a little bit scary at one point with the Sentinel coming into the equation.
Got ahead of myself.
But now, Alliance, they need to be wary of what's happening elsewhere. The likes of SSG.
That's good. I'm over here. We just made me a sandwich and some chips.
Down to the southern side of the map.
Watching this last match, and then I got a meeting at 3:30.
Tree, and in between Tree and Thermal is where we're going to be finishing.
And the difference here for Alliance, like you say, with all those teams, it means they don't have the same amount of time to loot like we saw last time. So it's a case of getting a position to play from for the long game here for Alliance. Here is your map overhead at home, or if you're in the arena, so you can see how everybody is playing it, and you can already see the concentration of teams here who are holding down that choke between Tree and Thermal.
Great news for Alliance, they do have beacon information, but TSM, a team that has been quiet today, they're in 9th at the moment. This is maybe not what we would have expected from TSM, but also we know they are a Championship Sunday team. They amp up throughout the weekend, but they definitely are kind of due a game when we look at how they've been performing so far. What a stop that is, by the way. The Seer coming in clutch.
Damn, how?
1, 2, 3. Oxygen go down.
Reps and Hal know each other very well, and Hal will say thank you very much.
Damn. Hemlock, baby.
The Hemlock wasn't at the top.
Anything possible.
How is making it work?
TSM.
Anything possible, baby.
On top of the building as well, thanks to the grab lift. They are looking to try and take out SSG and quickly finish off these kills so then they can think about their rotation. Right now they're in a great spot, and it looks like SSG are next on the TSM hit list.
Let's go.
Happy with how the last couple of games went for TSM. That is his 5th.
Let's go. I heard they weren't getting rid of it. Just not updating anymore. No, they're getting rid of it.
And the desk they were talking about, you know,
The Apex Mobile is closing on May 1st. So yeah, it's a GG. Respawn sent out a tweet.
those mammoth games to send you up the leaderboards. TSM do have that in their locker. I won't get ahead of myself because we're still only 3 teams down, 17 squads remaining. But early signs, this seems like a far better game.
Anything possible, baby.
No habits in this building. 100 Thieves on the outside. I'm pretty sure it was Horizon on the inside. So 100 Thieves looking for a battle. And maybe.
Oh, big global.
To do it with the Black Market goes down. Horizon inside of the building are going to be pretty much set up for the long game here with the Watson fences down. So this might be one of those fights that goes on too long for both teams. I kind of want to see 100 Thieves maybe make a decision to leave this one if they need to. Otherwise, those other teams are going to third party. 100 Thieves, they don't have the building to retreat to.
Yeah, 100 Thieves, they will want to have the outside mainly just for beacon information. But they can only hold it.
Okay, Lion, I'll be here.
Other teams are going to start to hear this commotion. They are going to start to get involved. But 100 Thieves will want to stall as long as possible if they don't take the fight. But they may want to take the fight. If they get any sort of whiff of a low shield or anything they can push on, 100 Thieves will most certainly engage.
I'll move with a cheeky little angle here onto the train tracks. Naughty. Speaking of naughty, Vaxlon has that Peacekeeper as well. And let me tell you, he was hitting some big numbers last time we saw him on our screen.
Oh, shit, he got a PK again?
Confident in this team fight. They do have an armor advantage, which is a big thing for them to note as well.
So they're not playing like shit. They got crypto, big crypto.
In a position where you're confident in doing it, but an EMP could destroy all of that.
But they're using this for a scouting mission. They know that there could be a possibility that they have to retreat, so they want to check the closest building as somewhere they can reside. Gamewood now making their way.
Yeah, that's a good. Oh shit.
3 teams are up here, by the way, in this vicinity. So if you make noise, if you go down by 1, you're probably not escaping this side.
Yolu looking to see if he can find some damage himself. The exhibits are going to be exchanged, or I should say it's 1 down to enemy 1 they've had to back out of. But look at this, you can see the zone once again being a problem, and E36, they're getting shredded here by Exet, and Exet have the high ground, and they've also got another Prowler in their hands, which is again, just dealing damage for fun here.
Oh, Nocturnal took a hit from behind.
Exet have a bad game, it blows this group wide open, and suddenly first place is very much available.
And Force 36 eliminated. Their game day is done. Exet looking to survive. Fun is going to retreat here and maybe think about getting out of this situation and certainly getting out of this exhibit so they don't give that information away to Game Ward who are holding them. But
he finna go.
Look how many teams are overlooking this. You have Passion just inside of the zone.
Is he gonna get that res off? I'm Nocturnal.
Aware that they only need to have a bang average game here and they'll still top this group, and that's why we're gonna see them retreat from a fight that maybe usually.
Yeah, I ain't no use of pushing it if they know they gonna get first, that they get better placement.
Sometimes you're going to be a little bit more passive.
Yeah, appreciate that follow. Welcome.
Had the most success today, but you know they were a late addition. You can understand why they might be a little bit off the pace today. But certainly from what we saw throughout the season, when they were able to finish 12th throughout the regular standings, they have it in them to disrupt teams. And it might not happen today, but certainly tomorrow, keep an eye on this squad full of fantastic players.
Passion obviously will look.
Is it at the same time tomorrow? So we can watch the full thing tomorrow?
They don't start getting their skates on, so they're moving, they're grooving, and they're moving towards Harvester here as they continue.
She ain't listening to me.
Where that zone is going to be. Looking across what else we've got, and it looks like a lot of teams setting up on the east side towards Tree at the moment, and perfect stuff from Production to show us that, and for you wonderful people here and at home, exactly where we're going to be heading.
Yeah, we've got 6 teams outside of the circle, so that means we've got 10 teams already within it, have gone down towards Tree, kind of on
damn, look at all them teams.
Setting up wherever you can find any sort of real estate at the moment. Looks like Alliance might be taking a fight here against Dreamfire though.
Dreamfire taking damage, Dreamfire.
I wonder if Exet and GW gonna make it like me.
Control all of this that space in front of them and the pace of the fight. Frag Grenade comes in defensively. Akis holds on to that exhibit for just a moment, and now they're going to get that information and somehow or other. Akis is doing his best Neo impression here as the Frag Grenades are just not connecting. Has to use use the black hole to back up as the damage now comes in. You're looking at armor advantage here. You have to say Dreamfire have it.
Hey, they pushed their ass back.
Absolutely shredded as soon as they pushed up. The grenades were doing enough. And the
Hey, they pushed their ass back.
made a big difference there. But Alliance, they're a little bit worried. They don't really know where they want to go right now because they are being held out by Dreamfire on their northern rotations. So instead, they're going to have to go back towards Thermal, back towards where they were dropping, and look to try and push through elsewhere.
Okay.
TSM have kind of taken that area off them. TSM are now holding the kind of most western side of Tree, and they'll be looking to finish anyone off that is going to be arriving late.
Yeah, TSM in a really good position here for endgame as well. They do have that height at the top of the train tunnel, overlooking everything that goes down on Tree. So you can see they're holding their backs at the moment. They will have to deal with Alliance, you would imagine, and Exet. You've got Dreamfire still coming from the north as well as Gamewood. So work for them to do for sure, but maybe they can pinch some of those teams and do the damage to force them into each other to settle that score and do the work for them. But Exet, we mentioned them, they managed to get back up to a full 3, and that is stage 1.
Okay. Also, they did get fun. No, not turnover.
Get into the kind of top 10, top 8 area. It should be enough points to just solidify first in if there is not a pop-off game from someone. But at the moment, we are seeing a few teams that are picking up KP here and there, and certainly could be a threat to their first place. There's the map overhead again. So as we've mentioned, we're heading down towards Tree. There will be some teams maybe banking on a slight of a northern pull here, maybe up towards those.
I was about to say, not that 9-9 from way over there. Alright, maybe you're just trying to use the digi.
Found somewhere to play. Still 4 teams. The only ones who have found themselves eliminated and having to watch on as we close out the day's action in our game number 6 today. Exit inside a Harvester. There's your kill leader.
Who got it? Okay, how? Okay.
United right at the start of this game. But work to do for TSM. Speaking of which, time to see what's happening on the flat line with Imperial Howl.
And I think TSM are sensing there are points up for grabs in this Group A versus B matchup. Remember, they don't need to win the group. Of course, it would be great, but it's about accumulating points to put yourself in the best position to qualify and get into the winner's bracket once we get through that bracket play, not dropping into the elimination bracket. And then you can start to think of the glory days of maybe a championship Sunday in those finals.
TSM maybe thinking about their next move here. Really, really important moments for them. We kind of mentioned how the last couple of games been a little bit off the boil by their own standards, but a good game number 6 here can completely replace that.
Are they streaming it?
Keep them on the leaderboard. Speaking of teams, though, you can see North Epsion here going to be eliminated. So 15 to fall out of this lobby has been found, and it looks like TSM just making sure their backs are clear here.
And sometimes with Apex Legends, you are at the will of where that circle is going. And even though they've not been terrible circles for TSM, they haven't been the ideal ones. Whereas this one, very good when you consider that they drop over a lava siphon. So they have been able to manipulate the map in a way to get some kills early on, get into a good position now, and then they can push through, try and get to the late game where they can really pick up a heavy amount of points.
Interesting here as we look at Game Ward, a team trying to rotate through that snake building towards Lava Siphon, but the battle between Dreamfire and Alliance is still continuing. It looks like Dreamfire are trying to move into the station, and Alliance are holding them out for now, and we'll be shadowing them as they move in. Game Ward looking to do some damage on this team, like I mentioned on the track, moving through that snake. But for now, looks like that team have managed to...
I wish they put it in
You can see in your screens right now, that's Exit. Nocturnal has to be careful with.
Welcome in everybody on TikTok. We are on YouTube watching the last match of the ALGS Day 1.
But genuinely, they could have got involved in fights earlier, and they could have gone...
We're gonna watch the other tomorrow. I gotta see what time is it tomorrow.
And it most likely is going to result with them winning this Group A versus B.
Now they're using the utility to try and move into a safe spot as well. They want to play for this truck. By the
If it's at the same time tomorrow,
to have to retreat, have to survive instead of cutting them off on the pass. Now Fun has to just get inside, and that's a great little rotation there from Exet. The micro was perfect.
Just got to avoid grenades and avoid too much attention. These RV trucks are fine.
I knew he was gonna get that thermite.
2 or 3 teams start looking at you and start pelting you with grenades.
Oh, there goes Zane FPS. I'm finna go follow him. I just found Zane on Twitter.
And now everyone else in the lobby is going to have to try and do something similar. You have to go across no man's land. Use any smoke you may have, any sort of abilities, as Exit are going to be doing the damage alongside 100 Thieves, and Gamewood, their backs are against the wall.
Couple of exhibits going
Let
down
me
here.
follow Sight too.
As well. Nocturnal also taking damage. The difficulty here for Excess is composition. Holding down one of these trucks without that Watson generator, the interception.
I know, no Watson generator. Baby, they gonna be throwing 50 grenades in that bitch.
and they have been able to do so. I mean, it's been very impressive.
Damn.
They were able to get here, but
And they got a Maggie.
It looks like they're going to be able to just get away from that riot drill. They're going to be able to stay alive. And, to be honest, they're going to pick up kills.
What do you got then, TSM? In the kill feed as well, you can see
Oh shit.
they've got more
How doing how shit.
TSM Imperial How, and he's hungry for more here. That's his 6th of this game.
He said push him. I know he said push him. Come on, Verhouse. Come on. Okay, XN got that kill off down there with that Maggie. Okay.
So those who are playing Tree, those that were banking on Tree, would have got the beacon information that they're going to be moving away, but Horizon is still in that building down.
All right now.
They're going to have to move.
I mean, what a zone pull that is. That has thrown a cat among the pigeons for sure. TSM lose 1.
Oh, Verhouse, what happened? No, what happened?
Imperial How left on his own now. How?
No!
But it's not enough.
What happened?
Eliminate TSM.
They couldn't heal up?
TSM were able to get up at 7th. Alliance, though, they want a little bit of a scrap. It's going to be
Okay. Exit and find them. Oh, find down. They got these.
I tell you what, the smokes might just be enough, but no, it's not going to be enough.
Oh, no. Damn, exit out. Sheesh.
Players leave no witness, also full, but J-Links, Dan, they're still here.
J-Links is the big
J-Lings is still there. Come on, J-Lings. Oh, shit.
If they can't get a lot of kills here,
Oh.
still very much in the realms.
They just eliminated Alliance.
Alliance out, Godfire out, 6 squads remaining, and I tell you what a place to do it here for J-Lings. If they can take 1st place here in their hometown, they're going to feel pretty damn good about it.
Oh, they're from London. Okay.
The outskirts of this northern side. J-Lings are going to be sitting pretty central alongside the likes of Horizon. Teams who are going to struggle a little bit, you've got NC who've got to move in. Moist are going to be holding the eastern side as well. Western side, excuse me. So a lot of teams who are banking on the edge because there isn't much playable area in the center of this next circle.
J-Links have the height. That's the great thing for them. You can see that's where they are, just up on that platform. No one behind them as well. Their backs are clear, so they can kind of let the lobby do the damage here. Much like we saw them do in that previous game where they won. Let the lobby do the damage. And then announce yourself at just the right time. On the outside of the zone here, you can see Moist Esports as well. Once again, making it towards that end zone. Looks like J-Lings have had to fall off that height, trying to control as much space as they can down on that eastern side.
So it was a 72-point finish for XF. That is the target for J-Lings. I believe they're on around 59 right now. So things are starting to get a little bit close because a victory plus kills could be a result that J-Lings would find themselves in 1st place in groups A versus B.
Was FC Destroy try and make their way towards zone and then they loot up. We do have a listening available, and as everything starts to move towards the carnage of the end zone, it's only right that we jump in.
Hey, Levi, how you doing?
Wait, give me a second.
Watson. Let me take it again. Take it again.
50-50, 7-2-1.
Then get condition on.
They calling out them coordinates.
We're jumping back in. That wasn't FC Destroy. I'm pretty sure that was J-Links, and they're picking up some more damage. But here come FC Destroy. Forget about the listening. Let's listen to the shots as they're hitting the backs of these players here around these crates.
Yeah, this is a big moment because if FC Destroy can push in and get these kills, they can reclaim this position, or they can claim it actually. They won't reclaim it because they didn't have it.
Ooh, shit.
From elsewhere. This is not comfortable for them. They need to be able to heal up. So now this is where you need to require your teammates to put down some suppressing fire here.
Ooh, shit.
Cut off those lines of sight. Hamadrill manages to just about get back to his teammates, and you have to say they've done extremely well to stabilize here.
Damn. He was almost out of there.
Horizon down just below them. J-Lings still alive, and you can see Pulverex right on the edge of this zone. That is a tough rotation for them to make.
Remember, as long as J-Lings get a kill or two, a victory would give them the #1 spot in Group A versus B. So XZ will watch on, pray that J-Lings do not get this 1st place finish, but the position they're in on set, it's not a bad one.
Let me tell you, if they can deal with FC Destroy and they can take them down, all the other teams will have to move towards them. This is a big opportunity for them to take that fight, but instead of that fight, they're going to try and take the high ground. FC Destroy are falling down to the low, and you can see Pulverex being
shit. NorCal. Horizon. Okay. Okay, Jay Ling's won it. Damn.
FC Destroy want more points as they destroy the Gen, and they have the chance to maybe push it on this team, but they know with 3 squads left, you can't just full send here. You have to be aware of where every team is on this
Where
map.
everybody at?
3v3 on the map at the moment. FC Destroy still alive on the edge of zone. The APAC North team. We have an EMEA team as well, and then of course we have an APAC South team in Moist Esports, but Moist are taking a lot of damage. And again, look who's waiting. Last game it was the low ground, but this time it's the high ground.
J-Links are going to try and replicate it, and it looks like they're going to be sending it soon, but they wait patiently. Again, timing is everything here.
Look at this.
Down. They're waiting for that damage to come in, and I tell you what, I've never seen an ARC star held with such aggression in my life.
He is holding that motherfucking wall.
Now it looks like VJX is going to get one. Max is trying to help him out a little bit. He's desperate to drop down on these players and get these kills. And they're going to have to be forced to move.
He dropped him some med kits.
This game might have changed that.
Because of that drop down with the Arcstar, they are now forced to make this push realistically. Unless to leave VJ here, then they'd have to try and take on FC Destroy. FC Destroy arguably best position in the game right now.
You get the feeling if it was any other player instead of VJ, if it's the...
He is holding that wall.
They can come back up to the high ground and rejoin if they need to.
Feel like I'm watching the game. That's what we're watching. We are. It's a watch party. Oh, shit.
Now he's looking to destroy the dreams of the team in front of him as well. Oh, the armor swap's going to come in quick enough. It's a 3v2 here. Nax is on his own. Now you can see with 1 point separating them and Exet, they can't get...
Damn, they couldn't get it off. Good try. They tried. Hey, he was holding that motherfucking wall, though, on God. He was over there like, baby, he was... That was good. That was good. Good job. That was a good last match right there. Woo! That grip, baby, he was holding on, baby. I already know he was over there holding that W. Oh shit! And he had an arc star in his hand. I know how they was trying to like play it out. He was hoping that the other team would have fought them, so that way they could have just cleaned up right there. They would have still had health, but the other team had more better position on the circle. Good shit.
A slice of that pie. Maybe not South America yet, but South America perhaps tomorrow will be their day.
Yeah, 100%. There's certainly a lot of
good shit.
Good news to come for them, as we can see J-Ling's Esports, a little bit of a wave to the crowd, who have been, I've got to say, backing them all the way today. But a little bit of disappointment at the same time, Dan.
But I like that you've got someone come to say, hey, look, yes, we're disappointed because we were one-off winning, but we just got second in what is a very stacked group at times. Look at the teams we were...
Pros different. They really different, yeah.
They still get great amounts of...
Never pushed them from the high ground. Yeah, it would have been a different story. It definitely would have been a different story. It would have. And the other side was too open over there on the high ground on the opposite side by the jump tower. It was too open over there, so that was a GG.
Waiting for the damage to be done, taking the best position.
Damn.
Because a lot of times we'll see teams try and move in on that.
So tomorrow, what time do it start tomorrow? We're gonna do another watch party on YouTube tomorrow. Fuck it.
Unfortunately, they were the team that entered the fight last, and a very impressive day from so many teams. A disappointing day for others, but plenty of time to rectify that throughout this tournament.
And plenty to talk about for sure. And for us, that's going to do it from Gaskin and myself on set. Thank you for having us. It's always been a pleasure. We'll be back tomorrow, but for now, we send it down to the desk.
Round of applause for Gaskin and Onset. Great casting, fellas. We're excited to see you tomorrow back on the desk as well. And I'll be joined by Onset a little bit tomorrow. Some of us will. It'll be fun. And of course, what a performance we have seen from J-Ling's Esports. I don't think any of us, there's some TSM bingo cards floating around on Twitter. I don't think any of us had J-Ling's Esports basically almost win the group with a game like that. They almost did it. We're going to wait for the final confirmation. We kind of get to see some of the points, though. But, I mean, I don't know, Tiff. Take it away, because I don't have enough words to describe how impressed I am with this squad and their late game performances.
Yeah, look, so I've also been keeping tabs on them, right? I had a conversation with Bowsy. I reached out ahead of LAN, and I was like, hey, like, where are they headed at? How's everything going? And it was a little bit tumultuous before coming into playoffs, right? They literally scrimmed 3 times. Their preparation was not good compared to a lot of these teams that really put in so much effort ahead of this. Now, I look at this, and I'm like, okay, so what are you going to do? He said, we're going to rely on our micro fighting. And
I'm trying to see what time it start tomorrow.
I just point my gun and shoot. Well, clearly it is working.
It really was that simple.
17 kills.
It was nothing to work with on the other side. No, none at all.
They needed that many, though. They must have known, right, going into that. I mean, you're not necessarily, like, going for first in the group stage, right, because the points are cumulative across all 3 of those lobbies. But at the same time, you still want it. You still want to be first. You want to have that psychological advantage over everyone else. So they knew it would take a big game to do that, and they were so close.
So close. One simple kill. It was really unfortunate for those wanting to see the underdog story in that moment. But you got to say that as much as I said, XSET, I would love to have seen you perform stronger in these final couple of games. I got to give them credit. They did what they needed to do with that last game to get enough. And sometimes that's all you need. 5 points when you're bad, when you're not having your best game. Seems like XSET was able to do the trick. But all around the board, I think Mark and Dan set the stage, Tim. We had international representation in every single game here. The competition was immaculate.
Immaculate indeed, because there's not just one region absolutely steamrolling. It's relatively, it's split throughout. You look at the top 10 and you're like, okay, maybe 1, 2 NA teams, and it just goes to show you. But it's FC Destroy right here in this last game. They initially rotate around and they start picking a fight with Jay Lings. And I believe you may have already mentioned it, or was maybe Marker on.
They was getting down over there, baby.
That split decision to back away from Jay Lings and make
I know he was sweating for real. I appreciate the follow there. Welcome y'all on TikTok. We were gonna be back on YouTube tomorrow, and
they could have fought FC Destroy and the team that they challenged on top. So it's kind of like both the teams did their thing, and then they met up. It just happened to be FC Destroy got the better position.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, sometimes you have to make those decisions in Apex because you know there's a third party around the corner. There always is. That's what decided that game.
Right.
You know, as soon as
Friday
got taken out, of course, that was the time where FC Destroy was going to come in.
Third party. Well, not the best party, but the most frequent party that you're invited to in Apex Legends.
I'm sure they'll tweet it out soon.
And everyone has been watching at home as well. Just a big thank you. We love the support that we've seen.
Because what time did it start today, Nicole? Do you know?
Arena, all of the fans waiting around here. We've got some MVPs, conversations to get
Let me see what time next week tweeted out.
So some good things handling here, as well as myself, Rain Day, Tiff, and Gino close out the show. But I mean,
so he streamed. He said live from that was 10 to 20 minutes. That was 4 hours ago.
They deserved to have that.
So it had to be like 11 our time.
As well for a team that's been so close.
Yeah. So we'll see what time it starts tomorrow. We'll do another watch party tomorrow morning.
And this is how you want to start it. Come out and take.
Because I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Right. But we have
what up, Slick Rick?
More that could be had, and you know that Hodsick is going to go back to that team. They're going to break out.
Baby, they was fighting, baby. They was fighting.
Keep that momentum moving forward.
Oh my gosh.
You have to be able to reign consistent, and would this have been match point, this would have been detrimental to XSET because it would have just keep opening the door for teams to hit that threshold.
Yeah, and you can see exactly where that improvement is to be made, right? And it's on World's Edge. Yeah. I mean, all of those points came from Storm Point, and that's a map that they really have made their own in the past.
Because World's Edge is smaller, so you're closer. Like, it's on fight. It's like on site. It's on site because it's so fucking small. On Storm Point, that's why a lot of people like Storm Point for rank is because it's bigger for people to rotate on.
Hit the brakes, unfortunately.
Like Storm Point is Gucci for rank and for
Just gotta be able to play around. So far,
especially like high ranks, like people that's on pubs and like lower ranks, they don't like Storm Point, but high ranks they love Storm Point. Masters, Prez, Diamonds, like they love Storm Point. You can rotate. You can't do shit on World Edge. Just be gang on site. The one with the arc star had me dying. Oh yeah, that was on the wall. Hey, that shit was crazy.
All day long. Horizon Union as well. Shout out to the Phoenix. Hope to catch up with him a little bit, my boy from Paladins and NorCal Esports, rounding out the top 5.
But Jay Lings, they got a good little squad, baby. I've been over there following them on Twitter and stuff. Matter of fact, if y'all do have Twitter, make sure y'all go follow your girl on Twitter. It is IAM_ICandy on Twitter. I be talking, you know, about all kinds of shit on there. It might be me, Star Games, everything's on Twitter. You know, we always on Twitter, so make sure y'all go follow on Twitter.
I mean, look at TSM right there.
Yeah.
And Instagram.
Only 1 placement point. I would rather go out in 11th with 10 points than go.
Instagram is more for people that like watching videos. So like, if y'all like stories and shit, Instagram. That's why I post all my stories on Instagram. I was trying to post them on TikTok, but that shit was too much, baby. It was too much. I said, oh yeah, this is too much. I can't do both. So you like stories and shit, Instagram all day, every day. On my new Instagram page, which is my name. And I got my gaming page too. Period. Okay, they still came in first. Jay Ling's right behind him though, baby. Hey. They were saying Moist, you remember the hamburger at ALGS, Nicole? They connected somehow. I don't know if they renamed, rebrand, or somebody purchased somebody or what, but Moist and Team Hamburger got some kind of connection.
And then moving down, you know, you also had
I heard him say something earlier.
So that's showing us like the differing styles. So not only have you got you know, teams from every region playing, depending on how you think you know, what excites you in competitive.
You can fast forward.
Teams who play at
yeah, well, you can do that on TikTok too.
Rollers, I guess. You know, doing really well.
I don't know about Instagram.
Some news here. You might want to repeat that.
I post rails on my Facebook page.
We do have the results coming.
I shouldn't live stream on there anymore.
C versus D, which was off stream.
I'll actually be posting some long form content on there too soon. So. But I don't know about Instagram fast forward and stuff. I don't know about that one. I do know.
Clearly with a mission here in London.
Yeah, I mean, they've been phenomenal, you know, up to this tournament. And I think they're one of the teams who is like, yeah, they definitely wouldn't be happy even with a top 5. They would only be happy if they're walking away holding that trophy high. Very interesting to hear that EXO came second as well.
Let me
You know,
see.
we talked about identity
I don't know
crisis,
Instagram rails. I do know TikToks you can fast forward, pause.
To EXO about what they were looking to do coming into this tournament, and they were wondering.
No, you can't do it on Instagram.
More of an edge, more of a
Nothing
zone style, actually
rails.
flipping between comps. So they were one of those ones trying things out in scrim. So I'm going to be fascinated to find out what they've actually settled on and what they started playing in that first series today.
Well, it's been a great performance, but sometimes we have some great individual performances. In fact, every day we tend to have that in the ALGS. So it's time to queue up one of my favorite segments to highlight our top performers, our Monster MVP. All right, let's see who we got to focus on. Tiff, I want to start with you. Who was your Monster MVP for today?
Look, well, this is going to come as no surprise.
Giving people what they want. Yes, and you know what? And I love that because I found out about it on TikTok. When do the matches start, Avery? It just ended. It just ended, Avery. So tomorrow, around 11, I want to say 11 Central is when they started. We're going to do another watch party on YouTube. Yeah, so we'll watch them tomorrow. So make sure you come subscribe on YouTube. I'll go live on TikTok as well, maybe. It depends on how I feel. But yeah, for sure, YouTube. Yeah, we're going to do that tomorrow. Hey, because, baby, they were shooting their guns today, Avery. Oh, my gosh.
Just the movement, the dropping down, the one clipping, the hip fire on the flat line, it is just textbook. And this play right here, staying on the low ground.
Baby, they were shooting their guns today. But yeah, we'll do another watch party tomorrow, y'all. I'm finna get up off of here too because I gotta get ready to go. I got a meeting at 3:30. So I gotta do that. And then I'll be live on Twitch tonight. We'll be live on Twitch. Live on Twitch. Have a good day, YouTube, Avery. You have a good day as well. Oh, but yes, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. Like on TikTok, I love that because some people be giving too much. I'm like, bitch, just get to the good part. So let me slide. Hey, I don't want to hear the 4 minute story time that could have been skipped to get to where we need to be at. Like, skirt, I be sliding right on past it. Because some of it be too much. Now, some of it I be actually sitting there listening because it's interesting. But some of it be too much. All right, y'all. I'm finna get up out of here, though. You said watching the pros make me want to play. Then I notice it's Broken Storm and the feeling goes away. I might get on Fortnite tonight. You gonna play some Fortnite tonight, Rick? Okay. Sure. Okay. Yeah, we might play some Fortnite tonight. You down? Okay. Yeah, so if any subs that are subbed on Twitch, or if you got a lot of pop on here, you know, if y'all want to play some Fortnite tonight, we'll probably get in some Fortnite. Because Apex, baby, we don't do, we did custom arenas last night. Now, that shit was fun. Like, we can get 3 people, like, we was going against each other. That shit was lit. I can't say that was fun. That was fun. But just regular Apex, that's not fun. But yeah. Anyways, let me get up out of here, y'all. We'll be back on Twitch tonight. I will see y'all later. Peace, love, and chicken grease, everybody. Y'all have a good day.